Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. I am a little bit late today, so you're getting all the funny ones at once. A little bit of a flashbang there. But we are ready with the second division here, which will start off in Baku. Same premises we did yesterday, so hopefully we'll be good. Hopefully everything is up and running. As expected, I can only hope. Seems to be, at least. Hello there, Cosby. Hello, Daniel. Hello, Petrov. Appreciate you all stopping by. But yeah, hopefully everything's working as expected. A little bit stressed here. But we shall see how this goes. Hello, Nieto. Welcome. You ready to win the F2 division today? But yeah, let us just start by going quickly over what is going to happen. We still have the same two we had yesterday with us, Dean Dickinson and Christopher Brooks. Getting a little bit of a shout out here as they are my longest serving members. But with that said, we do have some interesting circuits. We're going to Baku, then Vegas, and Singapore, where we finally finish off in Canada for the second division. The races were picked at random for both divisions. That is just how things tuned up. Hello, Shaya. What answer do I expect except yes? Well, you could do the Cosby answer and said, no, I'm going to finish last. But I do love a good yes. Let us introduce our competitors here. For Ferrari, we have Jimmy Bly and Must Be the Water. Tomfoolery and I Am Stefan. In, I hope I've written everyone correct. In McLaren. We have Verstappen. A fake Verstappen. And David in the Red Bulls. Bohemian, Gigi Body, and Matthias Marino round out Mercedes. We have the Great Wall of Flug. I had to give you a little bit of a better name. And we have My Driver, Give Me Your Title, which is built a little bit interestingly, which I'll get into a little bit later. Flat Out Corners and Kieran Love are in Williams. Luna Drift and Harman Singh find their way into Haas. We have Christy Champier and Shalin Master in the RB. Razek and Mortel in the Sauber. And we have Sean, as well as Nieto, lining up the Aston Martins here. So this is going to be an interesting season. If I crash, it's an immediate red flag. Well, hopefully you will not crash. But yeah, we are just going to jump directly into the race, I think. I've also gone ahead and made it all a living hell for your mechanics. As you can see, we're having 4 races and 4 weekends. Tell your mechanics to pray, because we are doing 4 races, and well, in this case, it would actually be 4 continents in 4 weeks. Yeah, this is going to be great. I would let you in on something, Cosby. The driver that I've created also has 50 control, but they do have a lot of overtaking, so we'll have to see if they do better than Points did last time. But with that said, we are ready here, I think, to just jump in the race. The cars are the exact same we saw yesterday. I've already checked. I know I clicked a little bit too aggressively here, but the cars are all identical, or they should remain identical for the entire season. At least that is the hope. The AI can still do stupid stuff.
Williams are taking a gamble this weekend on a new driver, but you have to ask.
Apparently the Williams driver is the one to look out for, but back at least there will be no rain here, so life should be a little bit easier for you all. Let us jump right into qualifying.
There's tension.
Alright. Let's see here. Someone is poking me. Yes, AFN, I'm proud of you for pulling an all-nighter. I don't even know if you're in the stream, but I am proud of you for poking me on Discord and reporting your progress with the all-nighters here. But yeah, we are getting started here. Banker laps are happening. Let's see where everyone ends up in the second division. I'll be sitting down later tonight to figure out, open up TP applications, to figure out how we're going to do it with who goes through. Because we do have a couple of competitors who do have We do have free tickets,
And stay
so I'll
inactive.
sort that out
Say
a
your
little bit
your
later.
orders.
So far, Shell and Master continues good form. The quickest banker lap so far out of the 3 that have been set. Hello, Justin. Welcome. You're opening up TP application today. I'll be asleep. Well, that is your problem. And we have a crash here. Champier has been the first one
This is where
to find the wall.
driver's involved. Oh, and there wasn't a lot that could be done.
Hello,
to
Evan.
avoid crashing into the barrier.
I removed your title since you found them, I assume, a little bit annoying. So hopefully you feel a little bit better about your luck. Surprised I'm not the first crash. Honestly, so am I. So am I. We'll have to see how the Floof, the Alpine crew do. Hey, we have another yellow flag.
Looks like it's the Aston Martin
Emma
involved.
V has also crashed.
Here's the replay. So here we go, heading into turn 1. And ends up making contact with the barrier.
A light tap into the barrier for the Aston. What have I missed was matching Formula E highlights, and surprisingly, Roland didn't win. Well, we've already had 2 crashes in the first few minutes of qualifying, so we're getting off with a bang. And right now, we are watching you about to do the exact same thing. Find a wall. MRV and Champier has been the first ones. We'll have to see if the rest are able to go through Baku without crashing. Hello, Racing. How you doing? Yeah, Ethan, I can see how it got old, but if you ever want to get teased again, just let us know and we'll make that happen. Who is going to make it through the first qualifying session for the 2nd division here? With a decent first sector. Are there going to be anyone in the way to stop him? Big question. He's up into 6th. Dunedrift, the fastest banker lap so far. Interestingly enough, MRV here, even with wing damage, is currently safe. I don't know how he's pulled this off. That is some black magic. And Aston are still keeping him on track. Aston are keeping it out of track with wing damage. Champier is in the pit lane. I assume they're going to get a new wing then send them out again. Yeah, MRV here. And this is a fast lap, looking at the pace. This is actually a fast lap attempt with half a front wing. The AI is already starting to show its brilliance. I would never crash after you tell me to. That's usually when you do crash. I sadly didn't make it. I was no pace crash lots. Well, it happens. It happens, fortunately. Am I proud of you for pulling an all-nighter? Yes, I am. Make sure you get proper rest, though, when you have an opportunity. The drive you made at Alpine has a, let's say, interesting 3-letter abbreviation. Yeah, give me your title. Give it to me. But yeah, let's see here. Do we have anyone? I think Champier. Yeah, the AI. This is the AI in a nutshell. Champier was sitting in the pits, and they're currently, I believe, doing a fast lap with half a front wing. If anyone gets beat here by Champier doing a fast lap with half the front wing missing, shame on your entire family. So we will witness this honorable attempt, I guess. Cannot have sound on until I get home, so I'm just going to assume anything I say is responded with a light-hearted and lovely comment from Nero. Of course, of course. When is the F1 stuff supposed to start? Probably next weekend, AFN, is the goal at least. Let's see what Champier does. Unfortunately, I think with the crash, they are going to be starting dead last as it stands. Currently in danger, we do have McLaren starts off strong. One isn't even doing a final fast lap, just sitting in the pit lane. Same here for Kieran. Tomfoolery is trying. So currently we have both William drivers in danger, as well as Mourinho here. I do believe it is, so Yeah, Stefan, Kieran, Tom, and our overtaking driver here are currently the ones in danger. And a strange twist of fate, a fast lap set with a broken front wing might actually get through Q1. Is the William driver going to get knocked out here? They are, in fact, getting knocked out. And that is the 5 drivers that are getting eliminated here, unfortunately. That is unfortunate for corners, for Stefan, for Kieran, Tom, and Champier here. They are out in Q1. Antonio just told you he hates you. Damn. Lucas causing drama here. The thing is, I need to take a look at it, Justin, because most likely we are moving one pre-slot over to second division. I just haven't had time to deal with that today. So if I made a mistake here and we have 2 free passes in Division 2, one of those is going to get moved to Division 1, and that would give the driver in 10th the free pass out, basically. I'll deal with that as we go. Hello, David. Floof Championship incoming. Well, that would make AFM probably a little bit upsetty, spaghetti. But we shall see. Have a good rest, AFN. Hopefully you fix that sleep schedule. See you later.
Very nice.
Let us see what Q2 has to offer. And MRV here has been given a new front wing by the looks of it. So the AI has decided to show a tiny amount of mercy here after they made it difficult. Oh, MRV's bad luck continues. Red flag in Q2 here. Lap times yet to be set by a bunch of you guys.
Now the action happened
And Sean's bad luck gets even worse.
Car with a nasty crash into the barrier. And even if they do make it to the race okay, they've clearly got a challenge on.
Sean is going to get into more incidents than Lando did yesterday, clearly. Yeah, that is going to spice it up a little bit here. Let us see. There should be maybe time enough to run 2 laps. It's going to be close though, so to some degree this is now a one-shot quali for those who haven't set lap times there. We could do a very nasty thing here to the Floof and just straight up go out and block him if we really, really wanted to, but I don't think that would be fair. If I can qualify around the points, I can make a place in the race. At least you are confident. I just had an insanely quick first sector. You jinxed yourself by saying if you can qualify in the points. The classic Floof maneuver, if you will. 35.3. Well, it's slower than your first sector. Privates I invite, I immediately curse. That is tradition at this point, yes. The 35.1. Well, you're currently 2/10 off that. And some of the cars ahead of you are faster than you as well. Razak had a terrible middle sector, though. So you can still be fine here. But we could see some... we could see some eliminations here fairly early, by the looks of things. Floof goes fastest, however, so maybe not. And Luna Drift here goes even quicker. So my hopes and dreams of Floof going out have been squashed. Master goes second fastest here. What can Rasek and Water do? Is it possible that I can apply for TP since I'm out? Yes. Basically, the rule stated that even if you participate in F2, as long as you don't go... if you get knocked out, you can be a TP. So don't worry about that. I should probably send that to Cosby2. I think you're here. There's been a couple of people questioning it, and I just haven't had the time to sit down and respond properly. And also I forgot. So yeah, if you have been knocked out, you are free to make a TP, so to speak. That is not good enough from GG here. Nieto 2 needs a little bit more. Or Nia in this case. Hotel is improving. It's currently in danger. Verstappen is also in danger. Rasek is improving on the second run. We can also see here that the title is currently in danger as there are 2 cars improving further down the road. Potentially 3 cars improving further down the road. Rasek cannot improve enough. Can Motel do it? Can Verstappen do it? Verstappen does not improve enough. Motel also does not improve enough. And with that, Verstappen, GT, Nia, Rasek, and Motel are out in Q2. Ferrari turning it around after how they did in the first division. I knew that I could be TP, but if the application of when I'm asleep, that's an issue. That's just unfortunate. What's team? Yeah, team principal. Q3 appearance. Let's go. This is my year. Don't get too cocky too early, Floof, and jinx yourself because we've been here before. We have been through this before, Floofington. Banker laps are coming in. Who is going to be the faster banker? Right now, it is Singh in the first sector. Immediately taken by water. The water is quick. Apparently, that is the secret. You must have water in your car to go quickly around this track. And Ferrari, with potentially 2 cars on the front row, as the banker laps have finished. The final laps are starting, with Master being the first one out here. Booth knows no other way than hardship by jinxing himself. It is how he lives his life. Yes, must be the water that is currently sitting in the Ferrari and enjoying a potential pole position in the first race of this F2 division. Also, though, is improving in that first sector, and that is basically within a tenth of water, if I'm not mistaken. So, not a bad first sector. We can see it get really, really close on one of the longest tracks on the calendar. I actually have racecraft, so qualifying well means I'm going to get a good race result. Now, funnily enough, Loof, my driver might actually be the one to shaft you if there are incidents, and we already had 3 of them in quali, so don't get too cocky, it might backfire. Master did not improve. What can Singh do here? 2 green sectors. A final green sector moves up to 3rd here. 2 thousandths of 2nd place. What can Luna do? It's also improving. Very similar time so far to what Singh has had. And Water with a purple first sector. Again. What can Luna do here? Luna moves up to 2nd place. Jimmy Bly moves up to 2nd place. Takes that back immediately. Not a good first sector here from Tidal. Neither from Floof, from David. Manuel really. Mourinho ends up 8th. Around here. David unfortunately ends up 9th, but are we going to see anything magical pulled off here from Water? They do not improve their time, and honestly with that, Tidal will have no shot at improving either. Top 5 is separated by 1.5 tenths at Baku. Top 3 separated by less than a tenth, and a Ferrari 1-2 as things stand. Floof immediately jinxes himself and buffs Ferrari. You can't stop me from acting cocky, and you know it exactly. It was in fact a Ferrari front row lockout here. Kind of wild. And they're very, very close to each other too. Ferrari lockout in the first race here. Now, this is Baku, so if the AI has a good strategy, you can still make it places. ERS is going to play a part here. Let us see how the race itself goes.
Everyone in the paddock seems to be talking about it.
Q3 apparently. Let us go here. We see a hard tire from the Haas. That's insanity. And it does lead to a pretty terrible start there for Luna, but does manage to hold on to third somehow. And with that, the top 5, I believe, have not changed. But Mourinho has had a pretty decent start here. Has moved up to 6 ahead of Master and Floof. David in 9, and then we have Mortel in 10. So, good start, I believe, from the Mercedes driver here. I'm just going to check. Yeah, Mourinho moves up 2. Master has lost 2, so Master not really having the best start to this race. Little bit challenging as it turns out. It's going to also be very interesting to me, at least, to see how Luna Drift is going to do here. As they've elected to start on a hard tire around Baku. That is pretty much unheard of, if you ask me. Hello, Mike. We appreciate the good luck wishing. Perennial Floof supporter. Maybe I need to make a new role in Discord, Floof supporter. Hey, fan supporter. That way we can have the Discord civil war. The Ferraris are having a good start here. They're running 1-2. DRS has been enabled, and with that, we could potentially see some moves happen. But everyone will be pushing everything they have for this first 5 laps, as is tradition. So I don't think much is going to happen here. It is a street track, but the Ferraris have already left the hard tire runner of Luna Drift behind, and that is not too surprising. If we take a look at the expectations here for compounds, a hard tire is 8/10 a lap slower than a soft from the get-go, and with how degradation is here, it's going to take 13-14 laps for them to be equal. So with that in mind, the Ferraris have a pretty huge advantage here because they have a Luna Drift to protect them. And since they can DRS swap, which they actually are doing, we could see them gain a second and a half a lap if they can avoid fighting each other too hard here. It's gonna be a big if, though. It's the AI. The AI isn't known for doing clever choices. We need Floof in the F1 Driver Championship. Baku has a high chance of red flag and cautions, so yeah, hard tire is a bold choice. You're not wrong. And on the flip side here, they will hold people up, though. That is the thing. Has will be holding people up here, and once they run out of battery, overtakes will happen. Be out just like season 5. We will have to see. You're currently in the points, David, so it might not be as terrible as you expect. My voice is a lot better today. I've been able to just sit down and not really do anything today, which has been pretty great. Well, I say not do anything, I've still been busy. Been messing around with the F1 25 video, which will be out after the stream. I just need to run one final check. Then it will be released after the stream ends. Oh, we have a crash here. Mortel has crashed on turn 2.
What happened. Now this was the Sauber. Oh, and that's a pretty big impact there. That will have knocked
That
their
is a
confidence,
pretty
I'm
big
sure.
impact for Mortel, and he's even collected some cars there. Collected Verstappen. And yeah, tomfoolery here, not having a good time. David has picked up damage. We have a second yellow flag. What has happened to the other Red Bull here?
2 secs. There's been a
Crash involving multiple vehicles.
Right, let's have a look now. Around turn 3, with not much room to move. Oh,
Ooh.
that's quite an impact between them.
Just ran out of room there between him and the Sauber of Rasek. Rasek got away with no damage, but unfortunately for David, that is a little bit of a shaved end plate there, which is going to make life a little bit rougher around here, unfortunately. With that, we could also see Mortel, of course, as well as David here, start holding people up. But Mortel should pit at in this lap. I would expect that with the half front wing, but also the soft tires, which have basically exploded as a result. And we'll have to see if any sort of undercut here might be viable. David has the highest control, yet race 1 and gets damage. Well, it happens. Sometimes bad luck is just that, bad luck. But at least the Sauber team gave Mortel here a fresh front wing. Not everyone can get that sort of treatment, but looking at the fact that there is still major damage, I assume the suspension is also basically broken here. So we could see Mortel cause a red flag later on in the race, purely due to the fact that they will end up getting some sort of damage here. And the hard choice from Luna has not really paid off. They're already dropped down to 6th. They're already dropped down 6 seconds behind the leaders. They are getting a little bit DRS helped here with the other soft tires. But the choice to run that has definitely not helped. And in other news, Mourinho, who started fairly far down the order, has actually moved up to a potential podium here. And 5 places up so far. Sean has moved up. He has moved up. Rasik's moved up. And, well, Sol Mortel has not had a good time here, but pretty impressive here from the Mercedes driver, continuing the strong form that Mercedes has shown in basically every one of these tournaments for some godforsaken reason. Just jinx yourself with me being DC. I still have hope, David. I'm sorry if you feel like I jinxed you. Mourinho following Pauling's footsteps, and Merck wanting that driver of the day cloud. Yeah, I feel like you are onto something with that. Feel like you're onto something there. Kloof, with his racecraft, is still sitting comfortably in 8th. Kind of where you started here, and we see a Ferrari actually pit. What have they elected to put Bly on here? They've elected to put Bly on a medium. But that is really, really early to pit, honestly, here. And it is going to be a lot of traffic that needs to be contended with. Is that a mistake from the Ferrari crew? To pit that early before anyone else? Or is actually Bly going to be able to get through the traffic here? That is going to be the big question. And we see others come in too. Nieto, GG, Baba, Kieran, or GG Body, I think it is. He was called this season, my bad. But we have others pitting too, but in Nieto's case here, there's a lot of free air, so the undercut is actually on. So this makes a lot more sense than what Ferrari did, and in my opinion at least. This is a lot more viable. Unfortunately for GG Baba, there is a little bit of traffic here. For Kieran, same thing. But once they clear tomfoolery, there will be a bunch of clean air for them to try and undercut the cars further ahead. So it's actually a really, really good choice. But yeah, Ferrari, same can't be said for them. Too much traffic to contend with. Of course, if Bly can clear these cars right now, it wouldn't be as bad. But as long as MRV and Verstappen are squabbling, that's going to be a little bit difficult. See Williams come in. We see tomfoolery coming in, releasing the other cars here. Medium tire for McLaren. A soft tire for the Williams. Corner's still going to have a lot of work ahead of him here. Apart from that, we're actually having a little bit of overtaking at the moment. Arster and Floof still squabbling. I still had like 60% tire. Yeah, the AI being a little bit early here on the pit pull, I think. You see the second Ferrari pit. Are we having a classic case of Ferrari strategy at the moment? That's a hard tire on Water here. Ferrari has given Water a hard tire, slots in behind his teammate. Master has also been given the hard tire. David has been given a medium tire by looks of it. But yeah, the strategic choices here are questionable at the moment because as you can see, the 5th and lower are running 50s and 49s. It's 48 and 47s up above. So there's no undercutting happening here. There's no keeping your position. You are hitting into traffic. You're going to be losing a lot of your tire. And you're not going to be given any benefit from that. So, yeah, questionable moves here when it comes to pit choices. Let's just put it like that. Luna could be in a solid position here. Luna might actually be fine if there is a you know, red flag safety car later on. As we see Rasa come in for a medium. And what about the Alpino Floof? They've given you a medium as well. Come in out behind Nieto here. So as you can see, positions are being lost with the pit cycle. The undercut is coming in strong here. And right now, Nieto can get another 5 seconds. They are looking great. But anyone from 5th and lower that is going to be pitting, it's going to come out behind Mars. It's going to come out behind Nieto. And right now, that is, I believe, 4 or even 5 drivers. So Nieto here could jump up into top 7. Ferrari Masterclass in strategy department, 1-2 lockout, throw it all away by pitting early. As we see Tidal and Singh come in. Soft tire for Tidal. What about Singh here? That's a hard tire. They're going to go long. MRV clears out the traffic here. Ampere gets a medium as well. Soft tire for Verstappen, so that's going to make things a little bit interesting. But look at what Tidal has done here. Tidal has come out between the two Ferraris. They had a huge 3-4 second gap out front, but now they're equalized. And Tidal even has better tires. That is not what they need right now. And for Mourinho, need to consider pitting, because now most of the traffic has gone out of the way. And at this point, you basically want to pit just to protect your position. I will one day bring a tile to Ferrari. I wish you good luck with that, Justin. Tile was between the two Haas and is now between the two Ferraris, indeed. Tile even getting overtaken by the hard runner here with the RS. So yeah, not a good time. Yeah, we assume the soft tire will be enough to create a little bit of a gap, hopefully. Remains to be seen, though. It's not going so well so far. Luna here is about to take the lead, and those hard tires could actually work out pretty well here. We could see a safety car, a red flag, give the Haas a really good, well, really good position. The other Haas, though, is stuck in traffic, and that is making their life a little bit of a living hell. Floof here, fighting Master, they can't be separated, as it turns out. And Mourinho finally comes in. But is it a little bit too late? Medium tire. Where are they going to slot out here? Drop down into 5th. About to drop into 6th. And yeah, they probably stayed out a little bit too long here. Potentially. We will have to see. They're immediately trying to chase down that Aston. And with that said, there isn't really too much going on right now. Stefan still needs to pit. Motel needs to do a second pit stop soon. Griff needs to do a second pit stop soon. But apart from that, it is pretty smooth sailing all around. But the McLaren here could be a bit of a problematic customer and hold off some of the cars behind. Floof gets by, which is going to be really good for him because immediately he has gapped the McLaren behind. But the McLaren behind is holding up potential rivals, which could be huge. In this first race here. We'll have to see how long he can do it, though. But on this lap alone, 2 seconds have been given to Floof. And as I mentioned, that's going to be huge. Stefan here has jumped into the pit lane, releasing them. But as mentioned, Master lost 2.5 seconds just being stuck behind. That is not good for the RB driver. Why are the Red Bulls doing so bad? Bad luck, I think. David here did have a incident which required a front wing change. Still within potential points here. Verstappen had a pretty terrible qualifying, which caused some problems for him. Right now, the Ferraris are running together. Tile has created a tiny gap there. Is it going to be enough to break free? Kind of looks like it. And the question is just, are we going to have an incident here before Luna needs to pit? And is Tile here going to be able to catch up? Gains about 2 seconds a lap, and Luna decides to pit early. That is interesting. Shouldn't lose too many positions here by pitting when they do onto a soft tire. But at that point, you'd probably just want to stay out and pit whenever the Alpine would have pitted. Passe too, doing a little bit of the Ferrari strategy, although for Ferrari it kind of worked out. Let's face it, Mourinho, Singh, being right behind with better tires, and the gaps not really being anything better than before, not really worked out as well as they probably hoped. I'm back and I can have sound on. I'm sure Nira said such light-hearted and lovely things in the comments of mine. Of course I have, I'm always lovely. I'm surprised my driver's still in the race. Yeah, we've only had a couple of incidents and none of them have been you, Cosby. What is going on with all these early pits? The AI had a look at Silverstone and decided that no, we don't want that. Yeah, right now, I'm scared for Ferrari, I'm not gonna lie. Because Water has better hard tires, but they're not really quicker than the mediums yet, which is bad. But the RS is keeping them in the fight here. And as a result, we could see a similar lockup to what happened to David here. And if that happens, that could be pretty bad. Mourinho now is also getting into this fight. The Haas's are fighting the Aston further down the road. Aston holding on for dear life with those used mediums compared to the fresher Haas tires. And we are seeing battles all around. I don't know what to say. We're getting a lot more battling than we did yesterday. So Baku might actually be the solution, which is something probably no one has said before. Lando Flugington would be disappointed with your performance so far, Cosby. You say that, Lando, but MRV has already had 2 incidents in quali only, so he's already up on you. He caused a red flag in quali, he crashed in Q1, so as you can imagine, well, he crashed in Q1 and then caused a red flag in Q2. He's actually up on you right now in terms of incidents. Mourinho here has separated the Ferraris. The Mercedes buff is coming in strong. And right now, we are going to start seeing the second set of pit stops here for Bly, for Nier, for Floof, Kieran, and also for the current leader, Tidal. And when Tidal pits, they're going to be put down to potentially 11th here, but there is a little gap there that they can abuse. They can gain a little bit more time on Rasak and the cars further behind. Could actually pin into a very, very good window there as the Mercedes move up to 2nd. How is this Floof doing well in the Alpine? But when I was Floof, I did questionably. Good question, Lando. I don't know. Not a bad start, but I want more places. Floof being greedy at the moment. Wanting more out of this race than just P8. Currently, though, it is pretty stable all around. Floof and Master are still doing their little dance. They've been doing it all race. Question is just, can they keep this up for longer, or is it going to result in an incident? That is going to be the big question there. And even so, we're seeing a similar dance between Water and Mourinho at the moment, as Singh has actually moved up to 4th on those hard tires. I assume they're going to go pretty long on the hards and then a soft till the end, which could work out pretty well. But we are getting a lot of battles here, mainly thanks to the RS, but it is still a lot of fun to watch here. Volkswagen actually caught up to Mortel. I would be impressed if you didn't, considering Mortel just pitted and has a lot of damage. Take it back before it curses you. But yeah. What can Water do now? Water versus Mourinho. Side by side in Baku is a terrifying experience. It doesn't seem like it's going to stop anytime soon. Stefan is the quickest car on track here, the McLaren. Yeah, Water. It's looking good. Mourinho looking good. Singh looking good. Honestly, all top 6 here are looking good. Master and Floof, though, is going to be a little bit of an interesting situation. And with 37, 38% tires, 40% here, the final pit stop should come soon, I would dare say. And here we have them starting. Tidal comes in first, Bly follows, Floof follows in, and it's a hard tie for Tidal. It's a hard tie for the Ferrari, that's a slow stop. It's a hard tie for the Floof. What are they giving Baba? They're giving a soft tie. That can theoretically go till the end. Remains to be seen though. Tidal comes out in 9th with a little bit of fresh air. We see Floof down in 16th. A little bit of traffic to contend with here. And potentially it's going to take a while here before MRV does pit. So that could be a little bit problematic to deal with. But it's going to be interesting to see if these hard tie choices are going to pay off. And Floof here could potentially use the Bly here as a bit of a pulley. Bly 2 is in that traffic after a slow Ferrari stop. So this could be a little bit rough to contend with. Not gonna lie, this could be a little bit of a challenge to contend with for them. How's it gonna work if people qualify but want to be TP? I think unfortunately they'll just have to live the driver life in that scenario. Justin. Time to undercut and go till the end. We'll have to see how that works. So 2 laps on the hard. It's 20 something laps on the hard. So yeah, it's definitely possible. You can do a no stopper on hards if you run them on light or conserve with a decent smoothness. I think that might be what we'll see here. Tidal currently stuck a little bit in traffic. No, can't get undercut, or rather can't get overcut at the moment. So they're fine still. We'll have to see if Bly here can get by Verstappen. Verstappen now on 30% tires is just being a DRS blocker, attacking Stefan. But Stefan is now potentially in danger, and Floof and Bly are going to try and move forwards here. MRV now takes the role of the brake block, if you will, as David moves up ahead. And with them going side by side, overtaking is going to be really, really difficult for the cars further behind. Are we wingman now? Hello, Benhola. Thank you for stopping by again. Appreciate it. Day 2 is well underway here. Luna Drift, Sing. They are pushing right now. They're definitely pushing, and Nieto does actually, or Nier. I don't know if they want to be called Nieto or Nier. I'm going to go with the last name Nier here, so they do come in. Soft tire. Kieran, the Williams here, what are they going to do? Soft tire, and that can actually go till the end. There's a hard tire waiting for David, and a bit of a slow stop there for Kieran.
That's not a good stop.
Pit stop issue acquired, and that is not what you need at this stage of the race. Floof now could potentially find a little bit of freedom. They managed to overtake both Bly and Stefan. And now if they can get MRV, we'll be in a really, really good position here, because that is a lot of free air. And depending on when everyone pits, remember, it's 19 seconds around here. If Floof can find freedom and 5 seconds, freedom acquired. If 5 seconds can be acquired before the cars ahead pit, or rather before the top 3 pit, we could see Floof get set up for a potential podium here. It could actually happen. 19 seconds is what you lose under a pit stop. 5 more seconds need to be gained. There is traffic behind though, which is making it difficult. MRV and of course Bly hunting him down. But now with free air, 90% versus 40%. No more DRS zones for a while. I think we'll see Floof find some freedom. Haas is still fighting out front here, but they will be pitting fairly soon, I would dare bet. And with that in mind, they really should be a little bit kinder to each other, I dare say. Neon, the fresh tires there, is still stuck in that train alongside Bly. It's not a good place to be. Current leader Marinho comes into pit lane. It's a hard tire waiting with just 17 laps to go. That is a little bit late, I dare say, to put that hard tire on. But they will find a decent amount of free air here. And unfortunately for Floof, needed to gain another 3 seconds there to undercut the race leader at that point. But it's still potentially up for a podium here. Depends on when the Haas is pit. We have a yellow flag and damage for Kieran.
And here we've got a yellow flag.
Kieran has crashed.
Now look, here we head into turn 2. There's clear contact there, and that's not what they would have had in mind when they woke up.
That's a pretty hard hit, unfortunately, for the Williams driver. No safety car, no salvation for the Hasses, for Water, for Master, unfortunately. They needed a little bit of help there, I dare say, from a safety car. It would have helped Rasek out of turn 2. But yeah, hit the wall. Didn't really hit it hard enough there for what was wanted. If you have to use, then I prefer Nieto. Yeah. I will call you Nieto then. Yeah, I was a little bit uncertain if I had the names wrong order or anything, but I'll just stick to Nieto then. Thank you. Seems like something Kieran would do. Damn. You're not wrong. For those of you who don't get it, Kieran here. We played a session of F124 with him. And I think he has the highest body count in an F1 session in history. So yeah, seems like something Kieran would do. Is not an, you know, inaccurate statement in this scenario. Title now. Caught up to Master. Trying to move up ahead. Gets that done nicely after the DRS zone. Floof, cleaner. Hunting Rasek. Hunting Mourinho. Mourinho 2 has found a little bit of freedom. Master will be the next target in 6 seconds time. We do, as I mentioned, need to see some pit stops soon. Are they gambling on an incident? As Kieran has been given a new front wing, but I think they suffer the same fate as Mortel here. Some pretty bad suspension damage, which is not surprising considering just how hard they slapped into the wall. The Chaos Merchant. Luna now comes in the pit lane. Has finally decided they can't stay out any longer. Rasek in that same boat. Medium for Luna. What are they going to give Rasek here? Fastest lap goes to Nieto. It's a medium to a medium. Luna is 7th behind Floof after pitting. Rasek comes out in 13th. And with the gaps here, points are definitely on the table. Points are definitely on the table, I would think. Abba has actually pitted, but with 15 laps to go, it's definitely possible to catch 7 seconds. I don't think that's going to be a huge problem here, all things considered. I hope the front wings blow up. But yeah, 15 laps to go here. Been a pretty interesting race so far. I'm wondering what Master, Water, and Singh are going to do. Excuse me. As MRV here has been causing mayhem. Finally comes in the pit lane. Sean. Out in 17th here. Soft tires. That is pushed till the end. Do the best they can with time that is left. Luna here. Going to try and hunt down Nieto. Jimmy Bly. Started front row. Hasn't had a very, very good race. Ferrari strategy kind of left them outright. Floof, as it stands, with a 13-second gap here, could potentially get a podium. Could potentially get a podium here if things go their way. Ferrari Boldest, if I can hold on, could get a top 5. I think you can get a podium because, as you can see, Floof, you're 11 second behind the leader, that is Singh. But 13 laps, yes, the Hearts can go 13 more laps, but it's going to be very, very slow. Water and Master are not going 13 more laps. You only have Mourinho and Tyler ahead with fresher tires. So, with that in mind, provided you can actually clear these guys effectively, which you did there. You've caught up to Mourinho as well. You now have a pulley with you with fresher tires. I could imagine you get on the podium here. No joke. Luna Drift, though, is going to try and chase you guys down. Fresher mediums. The mediums are going to be quicker here. Probably all the way till the end. So you're going to need a little bit of DRS defense there to not have the Haas get involved and take this away from you. That doesn't sound right. What doesn't sound right, Edster? Hello, by the way. Nice to see you. Imagine Floof takes the driver's title before AFN. We can see it happen here as Luna moves up into 6 ahead of Master. And Floof is actually squabbling with Mourinho. That's not what they need right now. They need to work together to chase down Singh at the moment. It would be a shame if something were to happen. You mean Floof crashing? Does the pulley work the same with this mod? As wouldn't the dirty air degrade Floof's tires faster? So, I saw on Discord today, I'm just going to pause this for a second, that the mod makes tires degrade quicker. And that is not actually what's going on here. So, basically the dirty air makes it harder to overtake, yes. Which means you stay a lot closer, for a lot longer behind the car, which means you put extra heat into them. So, smoothness is still going to affect how quickly the tires degrade. Just because the closer you are behind the car in front, the more heat you put into the tire. But the mod isn't actually making the tires degrade quicker, making smoothness matter less, tire preservation, anything like that. It doesn't actually have an effect on that. The effect that is happening here is that because it's hard to overtake, you'll end up running closer for longer. That just leads to more heat buildup in the tires. So smoothness, tire preservation is still important. But we've also seen the AI do stupid stuff like just keep on going full attack behind a driver they can't overtake. And in that scenario, it doesn't matter if it would have happened in the base game too, if they just aren't able to overtake and still just completely cook their tires. So, is the mod making 30M more effective? Yes. Is it making tires degrade quicker? Yes. But that is also due to the fact that drivers run kind of like Floof do here quite often, right inside of the car in front, and that leads to more heat going on into those tires. As Master now finally comes in the pit lane. Medium tire with 10 laps to go. That is questionable. Should have pitted way earlier with that. Soft tire for the Williams is what we expect to see. Did they just... Is that the fastest pit stop we've ever seen? I felt I might have just been blinking there, but it felt like the Williams didn't really stop. Might just be me being lost in my own shenanigans here. Floof has actually moved up into second. Second now behind Water. And yeah, 10 more laps to go, 38%, 30. They do need to pit. No getting away from this. Why is Alpine second and fifth? Hello? The Alpines got tired of being made fun of. Just saying that with Floof's luck, 11 laps is a long time to keep it clean. You're not wrong. Floof now moves up into a podium position. Mourinho is actually getting overtaken on the inside by Luna. Luna now getting into this fight, and as I mentioned, because of how tires work in Baku, Luna's mediums are actually going to be better than the hards. So Luna is now the biggest threat that Floof is facing, and they are being chased down at the moment. 2 seconds, 10 laps to go. Jimmy Bly, Water, Mourinho, all of them here are kind of getting shuffled together at the moment because of the fact that Water is 3 seconds slower than the cars around him. Where were you when Red Bull needed you today? You wouldn't have gone to Hans Spain? I would have stayed out with Verstappen. Like, you have a better chance of getting something done by just staying out and racing hard than going to a hard tire with less than 10 laps to go versus a fresh soft. Luna about to play the Jaws theme? I wish I could. Water is killing you. Yeah, Water is now sabotaging their teammate. 8 laps to go, they're still staying out. The Ferrari strategy team is working overtime right now to ensure they get nothing out of this. Singh playing the team game right now, trying to hold up Floof so Luna can get by and get that podium. And for each lap they squabble, 3 seconds is gained to the race leader at the moment. Floof finally gets by, and now the question is going to be, is Singh going to hold up Luna? Or will Singh allow Luna to go and chase the second place and potentially the win? It remains to be seen as Bly now finally gets by the watery teammate. Finally gets clear there. But at this rate, Water might very well end up with a puncture. We might see another strategic masterclass from Ferrari at Baku. Do we still have the floof pop-ups in case of an emergency? I have this one. I guess we can use that if he wins. Alpine now, currently running 1-2, which is, you know, Floof's wet dream. And right now, Luna Drift got held up by a teammate. Didn't try and get the overtake done. Mourinho's getting back into this mix. And for the longer they fight, the better for Floof. Water is still running, 24%. Yeah, I question the AI sanity every day, every time we do this. This game is doing a realistic Ferrari strategy and holding up the faster driver behind the slower one as they spend the 5 laps discussing what to do. Floof wants Luna to pull him to title? Yeah. Water for sure is about to puncture. I would not be surprised if it did. I'm gonna have to be honest. Ferrari's the master pasta. Alpine had no pace yesterday to this. Turns out they just needed a little bit of a street circuit here. As Water finally goes into the pit lane. 5 laps to go here. They're gonna have to destroy those soft tires to get anything out of this. 17th now, only behind Tomfoolery and the 2 cars who unfortunately destroyed their suspensions earlier in the race. That is the fate from starting front row, 17th and 7th, with 5 laps to go. The Ferrari master plan has not come to fruition here, and honestly, Haas 2 is putting themselves in a really, really bad spot. Nieto now moves up into 5th. Singh is about to lose another position, and when that happens, they're going to fall out of the points. So the arrest train is coming for them. 4 laps remains there. Life is rough for Singh at the moment. Singh has cost Luna 6 seconds. Yeah, you're not wrong. See you later when I finish 5th. Well, Singh could still crash you out. There is DRS in play here. Never mind, Rasik has found freedom now, and Rasik has 20% tires on you here, Nieto. So, 5th place is not an assured thing just yet, and even Bly could get into this mix. I think you might be the... Lando's complaining that Alpine didn't work properly yesterday, and Mike here has come with some insight here that the problem might have been Lando. Everyone sacrificed their utility. I take advantage. It's still just the first race, Floof. Don't get too happy. Rasik now making move Nieto up into 5th. And with a tire advantage, Nieto is going to be hard-pressed to get that back. I do believe Singh has finally pitted. Has he? Am I blind? Yeah, finally pitted. Down to 14th here. Can still get back in the points, but that is going to be a very, very difficult thing to do within the laps remaining here. Gonna have to push like mad. Luna catching Mourinho here. 3/10 a second. It's gonna get the DRS at this rate before the end. 3 laps to go. $18 points is how many it took to get into F1 from the last division. Well, for 2 people, Floof, 18 points might not have been enough, so we'll have to see if it's gonna be good enough for you. Is this the second weekend? This is the second division, yeah, mind. And then we'll do F1, hopefully next week. Pasta is also moving upwards right now. The Ferraris could lose another position here. The Ferrari strategy masterclass in action right now. And David is actually in also a good position. We have Tidal crashed. Tidal has crashed out from first.
Now, by the looks of things, we're at turn 15 now.
Crashes into the wall. That is suspension gone. That is front wing gone. And potentially a puncture too. We'll have to see if they can recover here. This day is so frustrating. I'm sorry. Yeah, Floof might actually pick up a win here with that. Of course, Floof could also still crash. And Title is actually potentially still going to remain in the points, so we'll have to see if they can do any sort of recovery here. New front wing is being applied as well. And they do come out here in 9th place. So, suspension damage, 9th place, fresh softs. Well, not even fresh soft. We'll have to see if they can do anything with that. The Floof right now, 2.5 seconds to Mourinho. Mourinho is gaining though. So just one lockup is all it is going to take here for Floof to be a little bit upsetty spaghetti. Is it going to be a Floof victory in the first race of the division, or is he going to bottle it? One Floof up is all it takes. Last line for the Floof here. We see Luna here trying to launch an attack on Mourinho for 2nd place. The mediums are going to start falling off a little bit here. Master is also trying to get Nieto for 5th. Much better tires, gets the overtake done. I believe has the RS2 to make that move stick. Nieto not giving up. Idle here is going to try and make a move on the Mercedes for 8th place with the tragic crash here. Looks like they made that stick, at least for now. Luna has not given up, though. Mourinho has also not given up. A couple more laps here, and Floof would have been in danger. Look at this. They're almost within the RS. Are they going to get the RS to the main straight? Because they are going very, very rapidly now. I think Luna might be able to DRS outplay Floof here. What's going on? Floof is slow. Floof almost getting caught. Mourinho gets 2nd, Luna Drift gets 3rd. One more there, and Flug would have lost out. What can Belai do? Couldn't get it to the line, unfortunately. GG. Can you hold on to 10th? You can indeed get that done. And yeah, Flug here almost lost it to the line. That is nuts. Floof spamming the baguettes in the French flag. The victory lap underway here. Isn't Floof in F1 anyway? The honor reclaimer? We got rid of that for this season, Cosby. Watch Floof not score any points after this, somehow get knocked out, would be hilarious. Gonna chuck all those baguettes in the bin. It's a party in the Alpine paddock, indeed.
Sometimes I think you just have to.
Yeah, the Great Wall of Flug has managed to actually pull off a win. I feel like that is very, very wrong here. Jimmy Bly lost 5 positions, unfortunately, for the Ferrari. Singh lost a bunch of positions for staying out long. Nieto here improved a ton, up 6 position. Razik up 7. Flug and Matthews also up 6. And yeah, the Water, today's biggest loser, unfortunately. Driver Championship then, we do have the Flug up ahead. And Water does get that 1 point for pole position. Unfortunately, they also had faster lap, but was outside of the points. That is unfortunate for them. Alpine takes the lead in the constructors, Mercedes 2nd, and then we have Haas. 3 teams yet to score points as it stands after the first race here. Floof for president. Floof, can you show your build? I believe Floof's build is in fact public in the Discord, yes. We're going directly to Vegas here just 4 days later. Your pit crews are going to be dead by the end of the season. I didn't actually consider that, so maybe I do need to do that in the future. But yeah, Vegas. Another track with high-speed corners, high-speed everything. Who is going to be the best around here? Vegas. My driver loves crashing at Vegas. I think we figured something out, Cosby, that drivers needs to actually have some pace to be able to crash. And yeah, this could make it interesting. Do you see it, chat? Do you see what's going to happen on Saturday? I do not wish to manage the practice session.
Qualifying is coming up.
Hey, Razak. How you doing? Rain in the middle of the desert? Yes, it's going to be freezing temperatures. 0-degree track. Let's go. That's going to spice things up here. And it is going to remain pretty much the same throughout the entirety of qualifying. 0.95 millimeters. Adaptability is coming to play in Q1 here. Back laps are happening. We have a yellow flag immediately as Razak joins chat and locks up immediately. Traditions are still here, people. Bad luck the second you show up in chat. The cars are equalized to 70%, yes. Every car is equal, Razak.
Currently P1.
I need the sector times, my bad.
Okay, cool the tires.
We even have a McLaren here going quicker than my car. That sounds wrong. Why is Singh's name in lower case? Sorry, what? Give me a second now. Do you mean... Yeah, that actually is odd. Singh has been given a sin, apparently, in lowercase, while everyone else has... Does everyone else have uppercase? Yeah, just his name apparently has been cursed. Classic... Excuse me. Classic F1 manager to mess something up. At least this is just a cosmetic bug in this case, which I can be happy with. But yeah, back collapse. GG, body trouble, drifting trouble. Tom is actually ahead of both David and Razak. That is McLaren driver celebrating all the way back home. We shall see. Yeah, banker lap is on the way. The track condition has changed to damp. It is getting wet around here. But this is going to help the driver for 60 adaptability. Oh, we have another yellow flag here, and we have damage for Nieto.
Right then, we can take a look now. Here we've got the Aston Martin.
That is rear wing damage. That's going to make Quali a problem for the Aston Martin. But they should be through with the second fastest lap time in Q1. The question is the team going to fix that rear wing before Q2? I think we all know the answer to that. The AI will not fix that rear wing before Q2. The AI will curse Nieto here to a life of pain, as it were. Right now, it looks like they're trying to overtake the Williams and just not getting it done. The Williams is on a fast lap, but as they are hurting each other, it's going to result in neither of them setting a good lap time. We've been through this before. Razak just barely gets out of the danger zone here. Jimmy Bly is stuck behind. I believe, is that tomfoolery? It is tomfoolery. Tomfoolery sabotaging the Ferrari here. After setting a purple middle sector and an improved first sector. Still makes it work though, somehow. Still makes it work being stuck behind a tomfoolery. And he is just 0.03 of a second off the pace setter, if you will. Lunar Drift now. Are we going to see an improvement? 2 green sectors so far. Not good enough to get out of Q1. Needed a couple more hundreds, really. But there are still time enough for one more lap here. surely hope so. I will cry. We'll have to see if they actually fix that though, Nieto. Don't get your hopes up. I just helped him slipstream. Is it a slipstream, bro, if they're very, very slow? I still can't get how Jimmy pulled that off. It's actually kind of nasty. Rasek, Luna Drift, GG Body, David, and Tom are the ones in danger. Rasek, the first one out here. Verstappen, Mortel, both of them in danger. Moreno too. Need less than a tenth here of improvement from Luna and Rasek to put someone else in the danger zone. But it is getting wetter on track. It's 128 now. We started at 095. So this is going to be a tough ask. But Rasek is improving in the first sector. There is a first sector improvement, not a middle sector improvement. That is unfortunate. Final sector, also no improvement. Rasek is out as it stands. GG Body. Trying to push here. Improvement in the first sector, but still slower than Rasek. What about the middle and final sectors? Are we going to see any improvements there? Improvement in the middle sector, but it's still very, very similar to Rasek's time at the moment. Tomfoolery is not improving. Luna is out. David is out. They didn't get there in time. And Body doesn't improve either. And with that, Verstappen survives by 200ths of a second. Just a half a tenth improvement from both Drift and Rasek, but it's in two other drivers out. And Moreno too, for that matter. Very, very close here. Should have just named him Stroll. Honestly, with how this game works, if you named him Stroll, he probably would win. I don't know if this would work, but for the bidding, you should put the two champions of both divisions as a package deal. I haven't completely decided how we're doing bidding this time, Lando, I have to be honest, so I'll take it in consideration.
Green light.
I will not accept slander on my boy Stroll. Is that not why we're all here? To slander the Stroll? Okay, 2 millimeters. It's going to dry out in the middle there, which means that there is going to be an interesting quali session, really. Fly is still quick. Mortel is actually quicker. But it is going to start drying out now. So basically everyone wants to do another lap at this point. And we can see that those who haven't set a lap time yet has actually planned for that. What can Master do here? The first one to cross the finish line. Never mind, it was Tidal to cross it first. They're going fairly quick here. What can Nieto do? Purple middle sector and a McLaren in front. Stefan goes quicker. Singh could not make anything happen. What about Floof? Goes faster so far in qualifying. And it is, in fact, a little dry right now. So this means that Singh is in a whole heap of trouble. Because there's going to be a lot of cars on the way out of the pits probably very, very soon. Try and set better lifetimes. MRV, Vorda, Singh, Champier, Corners, and Moreno currently in danger. And it is still getting drier out on track. So I think I'm going to set another lap in just to be on the safe side. And I have to. And I will take measures here to ensure that I don't block anyone. But it is still drying up. The one guy that we have with his hand out the window is not doing his job. Which means that we are going to have a one-shot quali again. Like we usually do. And I will have to try and make sure that Brooks here is not going to be in the way of too many people. Kieran Love here. Purple first sector. Corners, a similar first sector time. Purples are being moved now as it is still drying. It's going a little bit back up again, actually. Kieran goes 1.3 seconds quicker than the time. Corners goes even quicker than that again. So yeah, definitely a one-shot quali now. Anyone can improve. And anyone can change their faith at the moment. Champier, quickest out of everyone. Jimmy Bly, is trying. Brooks is trying. And as I mentioned here, we are going to take control of him and just get him out of the way. He is going to be the first one to cross the line now. There we go. We are just going to do this, which should allow him to stay ahead of everyone. Chat will have to yell at me if that's not the case. What can Jimmy do here? Jimmy can only go 5th fastest, 3/10 off the fastest time there. That's still acceptable. That is still very, very quick here. Sauber now coming on the hunt. Sixth fastest. 8,000 of Jimmy right there. What can MRV do? MRV goes 7th fastest. And we have Stefan, we have Verstappen, we have Mourinho. All of them improving. Mourinho can only go 9th. Verstappen goes 6th. Stefan goes 10th. That is bad for him. Master is 6th. Mourinho, as it stands, is out. Stefan is out. As Title has gone 9th fastest out. We're going to see any improvements. Nieto can only go 14th fastest. Floof goes fast out of everyone. Singh moves up to 13th. And with that, we have MRV, Stefan, Singh, Mourinho, Nieto, and Water out in Q2. Title barely survives here. I think Bly is dealing with traffic. Bly survives. I think someone had more traffic than him. Why do you think I said it? Learning the way of the Jinx? Now I need to scroll up. I was too focused on qualifying. Give me a second. When Floof takes it seriously, no one can stop him. When Floof starts chucking baguettes around, that's when you know that he is having a little bit too much fun and he needs to be brought back to the realm of the living. Let us see here. It is gonna remain very similar throughout the entirety of quali. Let's see how this goes. See you later, Cosby. Thank you for stopping by. Friendly reminder to steal pole position from the Floof. I really should, shouldn't I? Master currently the fastest one on track. The first sector and the second sector. And then Floof is going super quick as well, but only 5th, 6th faster right now. We have a RB12. RB12 at the moment. Those were the bankers. It is also getting slightly wetter on the track here. But with the confidence buff, I think we will see improved lap times on this second run. And corners is the first Williams out. To be fair, Floof, you do deserve a little bit of luck after what happened last season, where the game just reverted your stats for fun. So yeah. Floof got blocked in the last sector for sure. Floof can still hit a wall. Floof can still hit any wall out there. No improvement for corners though in the first sector. Maybe it is too wet to see improvements here. We'll see. Same for Master. Same for Verstappen. And with that, I think we have realized that qualifying is as good as over. I was mistaken. And we see an RB front row lockout. Are they going to suffer the same curse as the Ferraris, though? That's going to be the big question here. Or does this front row lockout what they needed? Get some good points on the board. One better from back. Floof's very happy with being in P6 for the start, apparently. Where Floof prefers to start races. Okay, we are ready to get going here.
Welcome back, everyone. The atmosphere is electric here. For the last
I see a hard tire up front, which could hold up everyone. I think it's a double hard tire.
Away we go.
The RBs have decided to be a problem here. And they're starting with hard tires, trying to hold off the soft tire runners further back. And that is going to make things a little bit interesting here. As we see, for the most part, place is being held and no real movement here, except for Kieran and Stefan, sorry. Moving a little bit further back. This is Vegas though. One lockup in the DRS train is gonna result in terrible, terrible consequences.
0.8.
I'm curious to see how the double hard out front are actually gonna perform here. I'm genuinely curious how that is gonna translate to the further into this race. It's gonna be very, very interesting to see. Okay, let's see how Ferrari will screw this one up. Starting 16th and 9th, or 8th I think it was. I don't think Ferrari has too much to screw up here, so I don't think there is too many mistakes they can make. So I think in this case Ferrari will be okay. We have is under threat from a Williams. Corners is not happy with how things are going, and tomfoolery here is actually not dead last for once. But yeah, the hard runners here are going to keep a pretty tight ship, as Floof is not ready to give up yet. We will have no choice now. Let's see how this goes. We can already see just 3 laps in here. Well, not even full 3 laps. Full 3 laps is now. Some cars are using 25% of their tires in just a couple of laps time. This is going to very likely play into the hands of the hard runners. If everyone destroys their tires and then gets stuck behind on fresher tires until the others pit, potentially this could work out great for them. Verstappen is doing decent. Verstappen up into 5th. Sorry for the yawn. But yeah, tomfoolery burning off more mediums than some soft runners. I am worried for this Williams driver, however. 53% tire use, and they've been running clean air for a lot of this. Williams there with some questionable strategic choices. The hard runners here are burning their tires quite a lot as well. That could come back to bite them. Title won't get points. Title will not get precision. So if title goes through, someone else will take it. And we have had RB on RB violence.
There's been an incident with the RB driver.
RB on RB violence. Christy Champier.
Dangerously close to each other. And that's obviously far
Hit the
from
wall.
intentional, but
The other
there
one hit
was
the wall
contact.
too.
And having seen it back, I think it's pretty obvious who was at fault.
Both of them lost the right side end plate there. But yeah, title will not get a spot in F1. So if title goes through, it will just be moved down. Mortel and Corneset are the first ones to pit. What are they going to get pitted onto? Medium tire for Mortel, a hard tire here for corners. And what is the investigation going to say? No penalties given. Title gets a little bit of a freebie pass here. Can Verstappen do the same? But yeah, Mortel, corners, undercut is potential here. Let's see what they can do. Fastest lap goes to title as Mourinho. And Karen comes in. Hard tire,
Issue in the pits.
medium tire. Karen just can't catch a break here. Pit stop issue.
Williams crew ready here. Oh, but something's not right. Oh dear.
The right red just did not want to cooperate there. Verstappen, yes, 54% softs. Tyler only has 35% softs. And it is still just one big DRS train, so pitting early here it's not going to work out very well. It's similarly to what we saw with the Ferraris and Baku. I don't think it's going to be what you want to do here, but we shall see. As Tidal does in fact come in. We'll see Floof come in too very soon. See David come in. There's a medium tire waiting, which means they are doing another stop here. Slow stop for the Alpine. Hard for the Red Bull. Tomfoolery is going to a hard tire as well. And with that, Tidal has already lost position to Mortel and Corners due to that slower stop, which means Floof might just have saved himself. We shall see. Verstappen has taken the lead and is breaking DRS at the moment. Was double hards good? Double hards will be good around here, yes. Double hards is not a bad strategy around Vegas. As we see Stefan and Singh come in basically back to back. It's soft to soft for Stefan. What about Singh? That is a hard tire, but that is an interesting strategy from McLaren. They're basically playing the long-term undercut with that one. They come out just behind Tidal here. Question is going to be how much time are the top cars losing here to the ones further behind. For Corners, it's 1 to 3 seconds a lap. So Corners right now is net first. 13 seconds behind the leader as it stands. So the undercut right now is going actually really, really strong. And Floof staying out as long as he's currently is doing is definitely not the choice that is needed here to pick up another win. Floof comes in, Rassick comes in. Is it a hard tire for the Alpine? It is. What about the Sauber? It is a medium tire. And Floof here comes out behind Singh. Even Karen almost gets by him here. Might actually get him into the corner. The drag race has begun. Pressure hards here, giving the tiny edge needed. Rassick 18th at the moment, but as I mentioned, with how effective the undercut is around here, we could see the top 10 basically fall to dead last potentially if they stay out for too long. Are we going to see anyone pitting this lap? It is just Lunar Drift that comes in. The others are staying out, and I fear that what we might see here is going to be a Aston double stack and an RB double stack. Luna, hard tires goes on that Haas. Basically dead last here, Tomfoolery. Not really a serious competitor. The paid driver of the century. We see Verstappen come in, we see Bly come in, we see Nieto come in, we see Baba come in. What are they going to put on their cars and where are they going to come out? Verstappen, medium. Bly, medium. But there's a slow stop from Ferrari. They just can't get that rear. That back rear out. Verstappen rejoins in 12th. That's not where you want to find yourself after leading. And Baba here, or Body in 18th. Bly so far down now after that pit stop issue. So far down, and right now, as I mentioned, I'm very worried for the RBs doing a double pit stop here. I'm sorry, Daniel. I see you're not very happy with the pit stop right there. The reaction tells everything I need to know. MLB comes in, water comes in. Are Ferrari gonna do a double shenanigans? Aston there, clean stop to a medium. Clean stop for the other Ferrari onto a medium as well. But yeah, I'm just getting more and more worried for the RBs out front as the double stack is coming. And if there's front wing changes into it as well, they're basically both going to get shuffled from, you know, front row lockout to back of the grid. I worry for them. I know that I've said this a lot, but I just can't get the feeling out of my mind that they're going to do it. Luckily, Master comes in this lap. I assume Champier is going to come in next lap. Is it going to be a new front wing waiting? It is, in fact, going to be a new front wing waiting for Master. And with that and a soft tire, they fall all the way down to the back here. Only Tomfoolery being further down the order. Champier is currently leading, getting overtaken there, but does need to find the pits now. Does go into the pits now. And they will again be shuffled all the way to the back here. Staying out long has not been the play here in Vegas. Front wing change. Terribly slow stop even with the front wing change here. And it is a medium tire. Even Tomfoolery is overtaking them here. So yeah, not a good weekend so far for the RBs. So everyone now having pitted, we basically just wait until the next set of pit stop starts. There are some gaps being formed here, but the top 5 are basically running together. Kieran here is holding up the rest of the point scorers. Let's see if we have any incidents that might shake this race up a little bit. I can't believe Tomfoolery hasn't crashed yet. It must be because he's so slow. Yes, the slower you are, the harder it is to crash. It is a... it is the inverse crash law. I guess we could call it. Lap 22, and we are looking at the second pit stop for a lot of drivers here. Yellow flag, crash involving multiple vehicles, Red Bull.
It's the Red Bull driver.
It's Max Verstappen and Plouffe.
Jostling for position.
Runs into the rear of the Alpine. I see no damage to the front wing, and I think the Alpine survived too. That is a drop in confidence for both of them. And we... Ooh! Virtual safety car now. Mortel has somehow hit the Shadow Realm.
Oh dear! A crash! There's been a crash! Now we're approaching turn 2. Within a split second, the impact's made. Now they're confident.
It spins out and crashes.
It's not going the way the team had hoped today.
And that virtual safety car is going to be huge for title for Stefan. For Kieran, anyone that decides to pit right now would save, I believe, a decent amount of time. Time considerations, 4 seconds around Vegas can be saved right now by pitting. Most cars had, of course, left the pit lane here, but we'll have to see who takes the opportunity now when we come around again. But yeah, Plouffe and Verstappen, they had their incident. Seems like nothing happened. Mortel, very unfortunate to crash out in that manner. Question now is going to be who will take advantage and pit here. Damn, I forgot the track. So Stefan decides to stay out. Tidal decides to stay out. Questionable strategy being employed here and right now. They will probably pit the second the virtual safety car is gone, which, you know, would not be great. Because no matter how they want to do this, they're going to get shuffled to the back. If Tidal and Stefan pitted, they would have retained top 10 position. But if they pit now, they're going to get shuffled all the way to the back. So yeah, very questionable here. Very questionable choices by the AI. As Stefan is getting ready to launch an attack here. Rasek getting overtaken, but squabbling still. And we have Mercedes trying to win back a little bit of honor here. Just like that. We see the car start pit now. Just a couple laps off the virtual safety car. Hard for the McLaren. What about Tidal here? It is a hard tire for them as well. Kieran comes out with a hard tire. I assume the plan here now is to run all the way till the end. And as mentioned here, there's no good like rooms. This DRS train goes all the way up to Lunar Drift here. And let's face it, they're going to stay out for a while. So yeah, choice here should have been to pit under the virtual safety car. Both of them would very likely have been ahead of Lunar Drift, or at least in a little bit of a better position. But this does allow the top 5 basically here to push, try and create a gap to Luna, or, you know, play slow and wait until Luna pits and the guy's behind before you do anything. Mourinho and Luna here, they're squabbling. Mourinho is actually even slower technically, so yeah, not good for the cars further behind. Baba now takes lead too. There's going to be a lot of pace up very, very soon. And again, the earlier you pit here, the more benefit you're probably going to be able to find. Tidal has already used 10% of their tires, same here for Stefan. And at this rate, they might need to pit again before the end of this, and that would be not good. Let's just put it like that. Currently, Singh is running a little bit away with it. 3 seconds up front. See both the Mercedes here doing a double stack. Are they going to do a clean double stack, though? No, they're not. Mourinho gets held up. It is a medium tire for the first one. It is a medium tire for the second one. It can go till the end, but it's going to be difficult. And what about the McLaren here? What are they going to cook up? That is a slow stop for a slow driver. But it should be a medium till the end. Look at the gaps here. Reyes leading out, comes into the pit lane. Verstappen comes to the pit lane. Where are they going to exit and on what tire? It's a medium waiting for Singh. It is a medium waiting for Verstappen, I do believe. And Singh does manage to remain in the top 10, but Tidal has actually undercut him. Question is going to be, is Tidal using too much tire? And the answer to that is probably yes. Verstappen, a little bit of clean air out ahead of the Mercedes, but even so, I need to put in some work here to get back into this. And yeah, these DRS trains are really, really just burning up the tires a little bit. I think most of these cars will need another stop. Connors comes in, Rassik comes in. It's a medium tire for the Williams. What about the Sauber? It's a hard tire that can definitely go till the end. Are they going to beat the Mercedes out of the pit lane? Rassik does not beat one of them, but Corners beats both and joins at the back of the train of pain and suffering. Yeah, Floof right now, 30% tire, Master 30%, and Blind 34%. We are seeing cars stay out probably longer than they should. You can overtake around here, but it's still going to be a little bit difficult. The utility build is going to be the new meta. How are the RBs looking? Well, Champier will need to pit again, and is currently running 3 wide. Master is pitting, and let's put it like this. They're going to be at the back of the train. There's no way to sugarcoat it. It is going to be the back of the train. They'll be staying there till the end of the race. And that is going to be Champier's fate as well. They started 1-2. They ran too far on the hards. And now they're being punished for it. Floof is potentially going to be brave here and stay out for a soft tire, which would be lunacy in its own right. So let's see if Floof's going to throw this away. I don't know why I didn't box, but at least someone could held up. True, because you are the one doing the held up. You are the holding up. Ferrari now finally comes in, and they're doing a double stack. Is it going to be a bad one? They kind of made it a good one, not going to lie. Is that a soft tire? Soft tire for Bly, soft tire for Water. 15 laps. We saw them burn that in about 5 laps at the... Well, 15 laps should be doable, theoretically. Let's see here. Yeah, Jimmy has already done 15 laps at one point, and Ward has done 16 laps on a hard, so it's doable, but it might be really, really bad for them. We'll have to cross our fingers that Ferrari has done the correct choice here. %, medium's going to last. Potentially, I think you'll be fine. It is 15 laps remaining. You're clearing the traffic well. For the Singh here, I don't think the tires would be much of a concern. I'm more concerned about Stefan. I'm more concerned about Tidal and them eating through their hards, honestly. You are first because other teams have pitted and you have an Nieto. You still need to pit once more. Soft tire for MRV here puts him down to 14th. And as I mentioned with Champier pitting, going to get put all the way to the back. So yeah, the RB is not having a good time here. There's still 1, 2, 3 cars, 4 cars that need to pit, so some changes are still going to happen. But life is being a bit rough right now for a lot of you guys. Hello Nick, how you doing? Verstappen is cooked. Yeah, Verstappen will be fine in this one, but yeah, in reality it might be cooked. I have lost a full pit stop to saying, well, you've decided to finally pit here. I think you're going for a soft tire for the floof. Where is the floof going to get placed? Yeah, it's a soft tire from Alpine. It's a clean stop, but yeah, you're going to fall down behind the Ferrari maybe. Almost behind the Ferrari. Floof 15th now with 13 laps to go. Luna needs to pit too. The AI is cooking some of you pretty hard at the moment. Not gonna lie. It's gonna be a rough end to this one. This was not the play. Yeah, it was not the play, Floof. You're not wrong. Why is Verstappen struggling to get an overtake done? Well, not really struggling. But sometimes it is difficult to get past other cars. Luna finally comes into the pit lane. David needs to pit it too, begging for that red flag. But unfortunately, Tomfoolery is not slow enough really to cause red flags as it stands. Too slow, can't go quick enough to actually cause an incident. Nieto too, begging for that red flag right now. The train is somewhat fragmented here for Floof, so getting back into the points is definitely doable. Particularly as some cars look like they do need to pit again. But it remains to be seen. Nieto is still staying out. David is still staying out. The red flag are the hopes of many right now. So Verstappen has moved up into a podium slot. Probably going to move up into a higher podium slot now. Not yet, but that is just a matter of time. Same here for Stefan. David now down to 12th, falling down that DRS train due to lack of tires. Yellow flag. Kieran, what have you done?
So we're heading now into turn 5. That's... oh no, that's not quite what they
That is
wanted.
unfortunate for the Williams driver.
Sign of things to come.
Very, very unfortunate for the Williams driver. But it looks like they got away with no damage. But they will need new tires. And that is probably damage enough in this race, not gonna lie. Verstappen now with DRS. Better tires. Should have no problem going past the Alpine here. But the Alpine is still not giving up that fight with easily. And retains the second place at the moment. But that is going to destroy their tires pretty rapidly. David finally comes to the pit lane here. Kieran comes to the pit lane to get fresh tires. 10 laps to go here. Could we see some of these soft runners need to pit again? Potentially, yes. Potentially, yes. We could even see some of the medium runners say destroy their tires too quickly. So, yeah. It's not over yet. Anything can still happen here. I'm getting a puncture. I'm calling it right now. I'm getting a puncture. Nieto on the radio here to his pit wall. I'm getting a puncture if you guys don't call me in soon. But right now, Nieto is doing a wonderful job for everyone ahead of him. As they are 5 seconds a lap slower than the cars around. And with that in mind, they are buying precious seconds to allow for pit stops. 4 cars further up the road. And creating a massive DRS train for cars down the road. Which is wild. A puncture here could also cause a lot of problems for a lot of drivers. But yeah, in terms of the gaps right now, Singh could actually pit and come out ahead of Nieto. And if Nieto keeps this up for another lap or two, Look at this. Corners got by at the start-finish straight, basically. And they've already created a decent gap here. 2.5 seconds right now. Puncture territory. And Nieto stays out for another one. Teammate behind, and teammate is being let go. That is positive there. That is the ultimate sacrificial play here in a season where individual performance matters. And we have a puncture at potentially the worst place for everyone behind. Everyone has been released there. Nieto does in fact pick up a puncture. Very unfortunate there, and the has drive from Luna just kicks him out of the way while going by. And with that, we now see cars being released into the front. Idle here could also pick up a puncture, and honestly should just have hit it earlier. Stefan could also end up in that very same boat. A lot of these drivers could. So this could be a very, very interesting end to this race, as Floof is trying to line up a move on the Mercedes driver here. He gets that done with relative ease. Stefan on title is going to be the next move. Called it. I called it. I'm sorry, Nieto. On the correct side of the track? Yeah. Correct side of the track to not lose time. I like it. But yeah, look at Tile here now. Holding everyone up. At this point, Singh might actually be able to do a free pit stop for the end of this. But Stefan moves up ahead. And honest, Stefan does need to pit, so needs Tile to basically hold everyone up here. Probably not going to happen, but they can always hope. With that in mind, we'll speed this up a little bit. Looks like Singh is going to pick up a win here. Verstappen should be able to get second unless they crash. The question is who takes the final podium slot here, because the two hard runners here, I don't think they finished the race without a pit stop. Right now, GT Body here is fighting title for everything they're worth. And title just does not give up. We've seen this before. Stays in there for the entirety of the fight. And refuses to give up the battle. That is going to cost time and tire for the car behind. Floof is not moving quick enough really to catch up the cars ahead, unfortunately. Jimmy Bly and Mourinho are looking for an attack. And we see puncture now for Tidal. Tidal has picked up the puncture. Are they going to block cars further behind? Floof is the next customer, but Floof does go by cleanly. Bly goes by cleanly. Mourinho, we see an RB getting held up. Champier gets held up and allows water to move past. And we now have both Ferraris into the points. Somehow. The bad luck for RB just does not stop this race. Hi there, Taz. I'm only here for like 10 minutes. Well, I hope you enjoy those 10 minutes. People really getting hurt by a 60 overtaking? Yeah, you can say that. You can say that. But we do see a Williams now. Corners here potentially getting a podium. We could see Body get a podium. MRV is finally having a little bit of luck after Baku was just pain after pain. But Floof right now has the double Red Devils trying to hunt him down. And one might actually launch an attack here. No, thinks better of it. 3 laps to go. What are we going to see here? Jimmy Bly versus Floof. Corners versus Stefan. And I think Corners has gotten by us. Stefan is going to get a puncture here very likely before the end. Needs to just run, conserve, and pray at this moment. And I don't think the AI will do that, unfortunately, for him. Yeah, for Floof now, just playing defensive games, trying to secure 7th place here. That is very likely going to be enough to get through to the main event. Life is not fair, and anything could still happen. GG Body lines up another move. DRS defense here from Corners is good enough, and Floof has dropped down 1 position. Jimmy Bly gets the overtake done. Now we're going to see Water here do the same thing. No, didn't bother, didn't dare to fully send it, unfortunately. Stefan is still holding on. 2 laps to go. 23% tires. Can Stefan avoid a puncture here and get those extremely valuable points? Or are the tires going to explode before the end? I think, unfortunately, those tires are going to explode before the end. Kloof does not have what it takes right now to get that 7th place back, I say. As it might happen, but not just yet. Final laps underway. Singh is leading. Verstappen is second. We have corners third at the moment. With a crippled Stefan here trying to catch up. 20% is when punctures can happen. 20% has arrived. Final lap. Can you survive 3 roll tires on when if the tires explode or not? Let's cross our fingers here for Stefan. What can McLarens do here? Will their luck hold out? 19. They survived the first roll. Should be 2 more rolls here that need to be survived. Singh wins. We are all invested in something further down the grid here. Floof can't get that move done. 18%. Stefan survived the second roll, and with that, I think they secure 4th place here. They protect the corners. 3rd place. They got 4th with 18% tires. Body ends up 5th. MRV 6th. Blind 7th. We have Floof in 8th. We have Water in 9th. And Champier did get 10th. A consolation prize for the RBs. And our top 3 is Singh, Verstappen, and corners here. That's a bit of a wild end.
Sometimes I think you just have to accept that it's not going to be your race.
The lowercase name dominates the Vegas GP, yes.
The team certainly wouldn't have wanted
The light realistic mod is on for this one, Canivia. I'm into F1, says Floof. A win in P8 will do it. Well, you can hope. Bohemian GG body here, up 13 places to take this one. And with that, drivers, the Great Wall of Flug is leading. Armin Singh is second. Max Verstappen has moved up 13 places here. And yeah, for the other division, 18 points was enough. I think you might need a couple more for this one. Still, David, Kieran, Motel, and Tomfoolery have yet to score. Motel, been unlucky. Kieran, been unlucky. All 3 of these really have been unlucky. And then we have Thomas, just very, very slow. Haas now takes the lead in the Constructors. No Alpine glory as of this moment. What if we penalize you for the baguette scandal a few weeks back? Yeah. Another Merc driver they crowned dominating F2. I think Merc needs a little bit more work here. They are 3rd, yes. But it's a domination if you can't get both of your drivers through. Let us just check here if the AI has done anything illegal in terms of the cars. I don't think they have. It doesn't look like they have. DRS leaves me a little bit confused though, so maybe. Ferrari looks good. McLaren looks good. Red Bull looks good. Once we get to Alpine, they're gonna get disqualified. No, they're not. Every car here looks pretty much okay to me. And yeah, every car is still identical. So with that, Singapore is next. And it might get wet.
Our Formula One season continues here.
Well, the quali might get wet, which means Canada, the final race, is going to be wetter, if you will. Wet quali here again, which is the second wet quali session, and then the wet race will be the final race of this division.
Now it's time to...
Will there be a decision made on the Div 1, like if it was the top 9 or top 10? I'm going to take a look at it, Tess. Again, after this, I just haven't had time really to sort it out today. And basically, either tonight or tomorrow night, there'll be made a decision on that. And of course, also the TPs will be opened. So I just need to, again, just sit down and get it sorted. This weekend has just been a lot busier than I expected. I'm not gonna lie. Okay. One-shot quali, everyone. The favorite here. One-shot quali. And Master might actually be lined up to get a proper DRS pull. Well, Master also ran wide on turn 16. That's not what you need.
Follow the drivers then through turn 16. And wide they go, leaving the...
Better to do that on your outlap, but still not great. Let's see what Master can do here. Terrible. Great qualifying last time out. Terrible race. It's going to be more of the same. If I'm not through, could I apply for TP? Of course you can. Of course you can, Tess. Penibe is a driver this season, so if you want to take the Mercedes TP seat, feel free. Okay. What time is Master setting it? What does need to be beaten? A 130 something. 130.1. And Nieto does that immediately. Master with a pretty terrible run here, all things considered. That is a terrible middle sector, first sector, and final sector. Compared to some of the other runners here. Floof might be in danger. As it turns out. Why did I jinx it? What can Bly do here in the drop zone? Is safe somewhat. Mourinho here. Can put Master down and does do just that. Some foolery. Aaron, Stefan, and both the RBs are currently in danger at the first qualifying and very likely out as the rain has started falling. I'm allowed to try and jinx TF Loof, of course. Can I apply for TP even if true? You can't be a driver and a TP at the same time, so no. If you are through, you cannot do both jobs. Tomfoolery with a lockup. I think this is the first incident that Tomfoolery has been a part of.
At the final corner. The wheels just lock up there. Now they did leave it.
Tomfoolery's first incident took more than 2 races to get to. Lando has you beat. Massively beat. Okay. Q2, are we gonna have another one shot here? I don't think so. It's getting dry towards the end, so bank a lap. And then we have a one shot towards the end. Lovely stuff. Corners has run wide on turn 7. Nothing too wild right there. Get up this sectors here, sorry. Brasek the fastest banker, Mourinho the slowest. Loof currently sits in a dangerous position. We have a yellow flag there. Luna Drift has spun.
And round they go. In the end,
That is very lucky that they didn't hit the wall there. I'm gonna have to be honest. Can I forfeit after being through? Unfortunately, you cannot. Okay. Everyone is waiting for it to start drying up. It is starting right now. The lap time improvement is going to be pretty massive. Let's just send our guy out here as well. Who is going to be causing the red flag here that knocks Loof out? Remains to be seen. I'm just going to go and get some water while you guys can watch Mourinho's lap here as the first one out. What kind of improvement are we looking for here in Q2? Sorry about that. It would seem that we have figured out who goes out. It is MRV, Verstappen, Luna, Mourinho, and the two Alpine drivers, unfortunately. Water here. About to pick up a second point of the season with another pole position potential. Which sounds really, really bad. Okay. It's gonna get dry towards the end, so we're having a banker lap and then final runs again. Yeah, no, fastest. Sing second fastest with the bankers. What is slowest? Okay. Should get a lot dry towards the end here, though. Are we going to see dry tires? I don't think it's going to get that dry, but we can always wait and see. No, it is Inters. Of course it is. Fly, first one out. What can Ferrari do here? I need my moment where I take out someone. Cosby, you need to catch up to someone before you can take them out. Hello, Track Tom. That was a long name. It was difficult to figure out what I should call you. Apologies. Welcome, welcome. On the start, yeah, lock up at the start. That could work. We see a really quick first sector from GG Body. 28.9. Water similar. David similar. 3 tenths, 4 tenths up on some of these guys. But it just tells you that the further you are towards the back, the better right now. While Water is actually very quickly following their teammate. Already 6 tenths up on their Ferrari buddy here. No one getting even close to their middle sector at the moment. Bly goes third fastest. Water goes fastest by a mile. Motel half a tenth off. A half a second off. GG Body just 400ths off. Corners. Gets in there. Nieto doesn't improve. What can David do here? Last one we're waiting for. Third fastest, as it turns out. Unfortunate for Razek, unfortunate for Bly, Singh, Nieto, and Mortel, really. No real improvement. But Water goes quickest. GG Body goes second. David goes third. They do need some good points. So they do definitely need this. Changed the name of the channel, went down? Damn. That's unfortunate, Track Tom. Must be the less water. Less water indeed. But yeah. Singapore now is upon us. with clear skies. We haven't really had, like, we have yet to have a safety car. We had a red flag in quali, we had a virtual safety car so far, so no real incidents really to shape the races.
It's great to have you with us, folks. And this is it, the Singapore Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we
Lights
go.
out, away we go. Great start for Ferrari here. Better start for David, but getting blocked in. And that allows Body here to keep second place at the moment. Corner's still fourth. Nieto retains fifth. Mortel is probably about to snatch it though. They're going to have a little bit of a discussion there on who actually gets fifth. And it looks like Mortel pulled the longest straw. Singh in 7th, Bly in 8th, Rasek in 9th, and Floof has already overtaken their teammate to move up into 10th here. That should spice things up a little bit. Singh, the current leader, is in 7th though, so Floof has a lot of work out of him. Just 3 people have chosen to go with a medium tyre at the race start. And as we've seen, the longer you go before you do your first pit stop, the worse it actually is for you. So that could get very, very interesting very, very quickly.
I can try to make.
What if there was a system where quali gave out points? Maybe sprint race points for quali? The thing is, we'd have to manually keep track, which would be a pain. It would be a pain. Yeah, the race is underway. Everyone is destroying their soft tires. We've been through this before. I'm curious who is going to pit when, as water does get overtaken. Singh right now on the medium tires is kind of holding everyone up, creating a small gap here. Yeah, the medium's not really the best of choices around here. In previous games, the soft tire was a no-brainer to the point where you just wanted to basically go on a medium and then just almost immediately pit again. A little bit nerfed now, Singh down to 8th as it stands. GG Body, even though running clean air, running first, it's destroying those soft tires a little bit more than the cars further behind. Last lap goes to Bly, who takes that immediately. And Tomfoolery did not fulfill his dream of crashing someone out on the opening lap. He's already losing a lot of time to virtually everyone. Rasek, let me consume you for confidence buff, is what Floof is saying. Well, to do that, Floof, you would have to close the gap, so I wish you good luck with that. Right now, the race itself is pretty stable. Not really too much going on. Water and Body are still squabbling. Corners is just waiting to pick up the pieces. And David is creating a little bit of a gap here. You can still close a red flag. Yes, you could. But we'll have to see if you can actually pull that off. I'm just going to speed this up a little bit because it seems pretty stable right now. Singapore potentially a little bit harder to overtake around. As we see Water back in the lead here. Yeah, Body destroying those tires is not what he needs right now. We've still hasn't caught up to the cars ahead. So the RS trains are happening. I might be right, Floof. No points for me. I think you're currently in a good position, David. It just depends on when you pit. I still think you're in a good position, David. Yeah, I agree with the Floof. I agree with the Floofster. You can make this work. Bly is finally moving upwards a little bit right now. We'll probably see David here catch up to the top 3. But the Water is creating a gap. And that gap could be vital here. But who is going to be the first one to pull the trigger? Who is going to be the first one to pit? With a DRS train like this, whoever pits first has a huge advantage. And it is actually Stefan, sorry. of the McLarens onto a soft tire. Probably going to be able to undercut everyone because of the DRS train. So pit stops here at Singapore take forever. We all know this, 28 seconds. And right now, Stefan is 38 seconds off the lead. So it's going to need a little bit of work here. Maybe the stop was a little bit slow. But with fresh softs here compared to everyone else being on used tires, I can imagine that the time gain will be massive. And Body comes in first from the top 3 position onto a medium tire there. How far behind is Stefan going to be to GG Body? They've been stuck behind their teammate, however, for a lap here, and that's bad. That's actually terrible. But yeah, 8 seconds off GG Body. GG Body, 28 seconds there. Basically have already completed the undercut on water. I'm not going to lie. That undercut has already been completed. Whoever pits first is going to have a good position here. I think my lowest moon is helping me because I can undercut and block people. Probably. Driver of the day performance from Cosby. Proud of you. Considering you're a big fan of Stroll, I can believe it. Water and David here come in. That is actually kind of vital that they come in as early as they did. They come out behind Body here. This kind of does tell you just how viable undercutting is. I want to not pit, puncture, and then hold up everyone. Well, you're on a good way to that. 28% at the moment. But they do need to lap you for you to hold them up, though. Which is probably the harder ask out of those. Corners, Bly, Mortel. Who is coming to the pits here? Corners, Nieto, Floof, and Mourinho. A lot of cars now coming into the pit lane. What are we going to see here in terms of tire choices? That's a medium. What about Floof? Slow stop onto a soft tire. Nieto. Soft tire. Mourinho. That another medium? Yes. Verstappen onto a soft. Medium for Kieran. And tomfoolery here does come into the pit lane. But as mentioned, the undercut potential now is insane. Like Stefan, Nieto, all of them can undercut all the way up to the lead. But it's just the cars ahead that are going to be the bigger issue right now. GG Body, net first at the moment. Watching for all of these guys, a little bit late. Champier, MLV, Drift, Singh, and Rasek are all going to be hurting. But more stops are needed, so potentially, yeah, it still change very, very quickly. Rasek now comes in. MRV comes in. Are they going to have clean stops is the big question. Soft is waiting the Sauber. What about the Aston softs for them too? And honestly, I think going softs here as your second tire is the best choice because you need to destroy it and pit before everyone else anyways. So Stefan is still in a very, very good position. A little bit down the road here from GG Body, let's be honest, but they'll pit early enough, I think, while the gaps are still manageable, that they might undercut for the lead in the future. Potentially, if they can keep it on track. Floof, though, is being a little bit of a menace. We'll have to see if they keep it on track or if they crash out. Still, 3 cars not having pitted. And we can see that Body has already almost caught up to them again. Running 3 seconds a lap quicker than the Haas right now. That's actually kind of wild. 2 to 3 seconds quicker. Stop the race. Red flag. Haas 1-2. Well, Haas just did a 1-2 in the pits as well. That is a jinx. And with how close the 2 Haas cars are, they are going to hold each other up. Not a lot, but that is still a hold up, and it does allow Champier to split the two Haas drivers, and they have been sent all the way to the back here. Everyone has now pitted, and with that, GG here is basically pit stop ahead of the Haas's. That is wild. Verstappen's strategy is so bad. Well, I don't necessarily think it's super bad. But right now, yes, you do need to destroy your tires so you can undercut. That is clearly the name of the game with equalized vehicles. Let's face it, Cosby, you are just here as a cheerleader. Tomfoolery is just here to be made a fool of. The court jester. So yeah, I don't think we consider you as part of the race, unfortunately. What are you saying, Floof? What is this bollocks? I'm slower than Stefan. Well, you got by finally. Now I make the move. Well, yeah, you do need to make a move right now. So curious, who's going to be the first car to pull the second pit stop here? Because basically, the first car to pit who can go till the end is actually the one with the best chance of winning. Because everyone is just running so close to each other. Like 20 seconds from first to last is pretty nuts halfway through the race. That's usually what you see after like 5 laps. Instead, we see it at the halfway point of the race, and yes, tomfoolery doesn't count. For the purpose of this experiment, tomfoolery doesn't exist. And I just cause a red flag, make things interesting. The funny thing is, your meme build isn't even making things interesting, Cosby, unfortunately for you. It is not making things interesting right now. But yeah, Nieto here in third is having a little bit of a gap. Water has taken the lead. Are we going to see some violence here, maybe? Perhaps. Title ahead of Stefan now. Floof is actually looking pretty good. Jimmy Bly is coming for you, though, so you better run, Floof. And David is running in a pretty solid 4th place here. Again, it's just when you pit that it's going to be the deciding factor here. That is what is going to be the deciding factor. And yes, the Haas's are not having a good day right now. No way around that one. Second that I thought we had a red flag when I was looking at chat. I just want to construct a championship, man. I think a lot of people have that exact same sentiment, Sanjita, so I know at least one man who wants that exact same thing. Finally, Floof, thank you for letting me by. And we have our first pit stop here, Stefan. Is that... No, that's a medium tire. You needed a hard tire, you fool. How is actually a different tire? So a hard tire is 5/10 slower than a medium. And it takes... It doesn't take too long either before the hard tire is quicker than the medium. Like 12.5 laps. We have 25 laps to go. A hard tire is the best choice here. McLaren, you fool overtook. The tire is supposed to last till the end, but we know the AI, they're bad at it. You needed a hard tire, Stefan. If you'd done that, you would have won. Well, to be fair, you also do need to gain, like, 15 seconds. But a hard tire would have been peak. That is 1 lap worth of additional undercut here. Let's look at this, how quickly Stefan gains on the cars ahead. Or rather, gains on the leader of the race. Okay. The Floof, the Alpine double stack is coming. They heard my complaints. And we're just like, if we pit now, we win, huh? I think I saw a a medium tire for Floof. I did. Medium tire for Razak. What about Verstappen? That's a medium. Master is also given a medium. Title has been given a medium tire. It's medium for everyone. And yeah, as you can see, Stefan has actually slid in between the two Alpine cars. And that tells you that the chase is on. The push to win is happening right now. And yeah, the tires are being burned a little bit too quickly here by the McLaren. 1:32.8. That is more than 2 seconds gained in a lap, 2 to 3 seconds. And Mercedes here and Nieto decide that that is too much. Medium there for the Mercedes. Clean stop. What about the Aston? Medium. Slow stop. The front left just doesn't want to cooperate. And that is really bad for Nieto. Because the other Aston is sitting behind. Both Astons here gets a shaft by a pit stop error. Nieto, though, does slot in behind Title. But for MRV, it is all the way to the back of the grid. That was a terrible, terrible stop by them. And that is not what they needed at this point. The question now is, how long is Water going to stay out before trouble arrives here? GG Body, who is in net first, needs one more lap from Water here to take first place. Fly now comes in. Fly now. Clean stop. Comes out ahead of Title. That's a good place to be placed. Title with the fastest lap so far. But yeah, 31.3 from both of the Alpines. That is 4 seconds a lap gained. 2 more laps like that, and Water will start dropping out of the top 10. 2 more laps like that, and Water will start dropping out of the top 10. Body is now decisively net first. Floof is now net second as David comes to the pit lane. Potentially a little bit too late, but should still be within the top 10. It's a soft tire. That is not what you need. Red Bull, what are you doing? The AI's choices are giving me physical pain right now. As the boats outside are beeping. I don't know if you can hear it. But yeah, David is out here in 15th. Nieto is basically alongside him. And we have a yellow flag. Bly has caused a full safety car. The Ferraris have done...
Now this is what happened as they took turn 8.
The Ferraris have done crash one to save the other.
That will have knocked their confidence, I'm sure.
Jimmy Bly got sacrificed, so that must be the Water could fly. And that is actually insane. So with a safety car around here, you save, well, not really a lot of time. But I would think that Water will be able to come out ahead of GG Body here, and they will. Bly has retired from the race and pulled a little bit of a crash gate here, you might say. That is very, very great timing for the top 8 here. The Haas's have been saved as well. Mourinho has been saved. And the bottom 19 have been cursed. Are we going to see a clean stop here from the guys in the pit lane? Ferrari's giving him a soft tire. Corner's been given a soft tire. Mortel being given a soft. Singh's been given a soft. Karen is being given a soft tire. Luna is being held up in the pits. But a soft tire is the choice here. And yeah, the pit lane was a little bit of a mess there. Mourinho falls all the way down to 13th here. David is in 9th. So even if the safety car arrived, the only one who really got saved here was Water, Corners, Mortel, and, well, kind of Singh. Verstappen got absolutely shafted. And honestly here, we'll have to see if these fresher tires can fight with the more worn mediums up ahead. Jimmy Bly pulls off a crash gate for must be the Water. Whoa, I've seen this story before. Well, soft tires around here I've lasted somewhere around 20 laps, so I wouldn't be too worried. But with a big DRS train again, I guess the people further down the train should be worried. Will I even be able to catch up to this safety car? They put you on hard tires. Tomfoolery, the only one being given the hard hit today. Okay, that is actually hilarious. Okay, safety car is ending here. Tomfoolery still has not fully caught up. But it's going to be able to just barely get to the back of the order here before we restart. And now pray for a crash. 17 laps to go. Soft tire should just about survive that. And we are back underway here. Must be the water gets away cleanly. And the question now is going to be, whose tires will not survive till the end? See you later, mind. Have a good nap. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. Fastest lap currently in the hands of water. Yeah, right now there isn't really much going on. A little bit of back and forth there with DRS games. So the question is going to be, who is going to hold on till the end? As GG Body takes that faster lap point back. And the softs are getting closer and closer to the mediums here. And that is kind of bad news with 13 laps to go. I step away for 5 minutes and I drive straight into a wall. Yes, it tends to happen. Unfortunately, Daniel. Bad luck does tend to occur, fortunately. You sacrificed yourself for Cosby here. Tomfoolery. He's too precious to let die, as it turns out. But yeah, it was just a bit of poor luck. However, your crash did save water, because if you hadn't crashed, water here would probably be running last now, instead of the safety car that allowed him to pit safely. So, to Ferrari, you died for a good cause. Sadly. I think also you're learning the truth here that the slower you are, the harder it is for your driver to crash. Which sounds, you know, like stupid wisdom, but it is actually true in this game. The slower you are, the harder it is to find a wall. And in Tomfoolery's case, he's very slow, so it's very hard to find that wall. Corners catching water at the moment, and gaps are forming in the top 10 here. Stefan holding up the bottom 9 for that final point. Hotel fighting for the podium with GG Body. 7 laps to go. David has moved up to 7th. Can potentially move up to 6th here. As 6 laps remains of the Singapore GP. Should have done max pace. You should have done max pace and no, like max pace, max overtaking, that sort of thing. And yeah, Mortel and Body, they aren't done with it, but the more they fight, the more they give water, the more they give corners a safe haven up front. And Mortel is definitely not content with not getting a podium here. That is true in real life as well. A lot harder to crash at 10 kilometers per hour than 100. True. Unless your name is Stroll and you crash under a safety car. It depends on the person, I dare say. But yeah, right now, we are having a fight for 6th, 5th here, potentially. The medium runners are starting kind of coming into it. Body here have probably lost too much to be in, you know, discussion for a win. But that remains to be seen. I've seen people that doesn't apply to. True. I'm not one to crash when going slow, but when fast, yes, when fast you crash. Just like Tidal did. Baku. Same, Motel, you kind of running out of time here. You're running out of time to get that movement done. Need to get a move on right now. Moral of the story, be slow to avoid crashing. True. Let's add that to the words of wisdom. When fast, crash. When slow, bro. I was off for a while. How's Flip been doing? Flip's been consistently in the points, which is weird to say, considering how the previous seasons have gone. Is Motel finally going to get a move on here? David might also get a move on the Alpines by looks of this. And Rasek has gotten a move on Stefan. And is about to score a point here, potentially. Must be the fast. You could be in the fight for first. With 3 laps to go, Floof, I think that is you dreaming. 3 laps, 11 seconds. Forecast to overtake. That is a dream and a half right there. David, though, could be in trouble. 34% 3 laps is a little bit too little soft to keep, I think. But a little bit too little soft left. And honestly, Mortal is in that same kind of bucket, if you will. 37 is okay, you can survive. 33 is, yikes, I might get a puncture if I'm not careful. Drivers' Championship, Nero Dingus? I'm sorry to tell you this, but you're not leading the championship. See? The Ward is leading. Well, right now you are actually leading. I was hoping you would be a little bit further behind the Sing here, but yeah, we can't have this. This is disallowed. Corners. I empower you to take out the water. Or rather, overtake the water. So that Floof cannot lead the championship going into the final race. That is illegal. That is illegal, as they say. Hotel right now is going to start losing pace due to being below 30%. And David will soon suffer that very, very same fate. Needs to just remain within DRS here for the final lap. That is up and coming. And unfortunately, Sing there gets that overtake done. As mentioned, DRS is going to be the key for David to get a good finishing position. And you can already see just how badly this is hurting Motel. Already lost 2 seconds to the car ahead. So yeah, the tires exploding is bad news. And Singer now is going full attack, trying to score a couple more points. And they get an overtake done on Tidal here. Would that put them ahead of Floof? If so, Tidal, please crash out. Give him a little bit more points in. Nieto trying to line up a move on David. Just a couple of corners remaining. What can Sing do here? No more DRS before the end of this. Nothing for Sing. Nothing for Nieto. Water wins. Corners come second. Are Sing here? Are Nieto gonna be unable to overtake? Looks like it. We have Water winning. Corner second. Body third. Mortel gets a 4th place finish here. Then we have Floof, Tidal, Sing, David, Nieto, and Rasek finishing out the points here. Tomfoolery with the season best of being 11 seconds behind last place. Nero hates the idea of giving me a role that includes winning. Honestly, Floof, if you do not win this season, I'm giving you bottling champion. You are inheriting AFN's role of bottling champion if you do not win the title. Now you've done it to yourself. You are leading the championship, 1 race to go. If you do not win the championship, you become the bottle champion. With 4 potential rivals to take that away from you. Sing, Corners, Water, and GG Body to potentially snatch that from you. Yeah. Still, we've had a very unlucky Kieran here. No way around that. Christy has also been really unlucky. David has been really unlucky. We'll have to see if they can do a little bit of a comeback in their final race here. And we also do have a bit of a 4-way fight. Actually, 5 or 6-way fight for the constructor title, depending on where people finish. I've led the championship the whole way. Let's not throw this away at the end. Throw it away. I don't care what role I get, but can I keep the color? Yeah, sure. I'll just change the bottle color to the same one as Alpine's greatest fan. I'm missing car parts? That can't be right. Does this mean the AI might have done the AI thing and missed car parts as well? No, these numbers look identical to what the grid average was before. But let's just double check. The AI likes to do stupid stuff. Looks like our vehicles are good. Yeah, everyone is still identical. No overpowering. It is Canada. Canada is offering us a spectacle because Canada is going to be wet. Quali is going to be super important here. Let's see who is the best around the Canadian circuit. Around Stroll's home with moderate rain arriving on Sunday.
We're moving on now.
Canada lost. There's a certain Wall of Champions. Well, if the Wall of Champions takes Floof out, then it was fate.
Angry.
The Wall of Champions takes Floof out, and he becomes a bottler. Then it was, in fact, fated to be so. 53.8 degrees in Canada. 31 degrees air temperature. That is insanity.
Okay, cool the tires and we will box this lap. Box this lap.
I would die if I went to Canada in these circumstances. Oh, we had a yellow blink there for a second. Who was it? It was Singh running wide. David, so far the fastest man in Q1. Stefan takes that back. Verstappen takes that too. But yeah, we're doing bankers still. What are we going to have here for everyone? 5 minutes remain. Nieto, I don't think you will have time enough to do another lap after this. It's going to be close. Nieto and GG Body, what can you two do here? GG Body goes fastest. Nieto goes faster. And Singh side by side with a Ferrari. That is not a good way to get a good final sector. But yeah, they should be through. Currently in danger, corners. Tomfoolery, Mourinho, Master, and Luna Drift. Title and 2 Ferraris at the edge alongside Floof. Who is going to be able to survive this one? El Pocanaldo, this is the final race of the second division. Floof is somehow leading this. So we have decided that if he fails, we are naming him the new bottler. After AFN has decided to give up that honor. What can Water do here on the edge? Improving, but is it enough of an improvement? Let us see. Improvement to fastest. I think that is an acceptable improvement. Floof, on the other hand, is having traffic issues. It's on an outlap though, so you should still be fine. But yeah, the traffic right now is going to be a huge problem for anyone trying to set faster laps. And as we can see here from Verstappen, improving is difficult. Not really improving at the moment. Tomfoolery is actually improving. What is this madness? Mourinho, not improving. Are we going to see the tomfoolery into Q2 for once? There's a Haas in the way. The Haas is in the way still. And with that, it's a terrible final sector. Aurelio only improves to 16. That could be, that could not be enough. That could be bad for him. Mars is improving. Lunar Drift is improving. Corners is improving. And with that, we could definitely see a drop in position here. And Mourinho is out as it stands. Jimmy Bly in danger, Floof in danger, MRV in danger, and Lunar Drift goes fastest, pushing Jimmy down. Tidal currently trying to improve. Floof is potentially out here. The champion, the leader, could be out in Q1 in the wet race. And Tidal knocked a teammate out. Tidal takes the teammate scalp. Bly makes it permanent. And with that, MRV, Floof, Corners, Mourinho, and Tomfoolery is out in Q1. I'm out in Q... Why did you doom yourself, Floof? You cursed yourself. If you said you'd gone through Q3 like you did earlier, you would have been in Q3. Clearly, the confidence was got you through earlier. Now you dropped confidence and you're immediately out. Don't doubt yourself. Say that you're gonna win from last in the race here. Of course, I wasn't gonna make it out. We can hope. We can hope. How is Floof doing this? He leads the championship by 6 points, I think. So Floof is doing good. Sounds French. I'm not out of hope yet. Floof, 2025. I'm out of hope. David, 2025. Okay, bankers, let's go. GD Body and Sing with very similar times. Bly, 4/10 down. Yeah, Water needs a little bit more. David needs a lot more, unfortunately. But it is still just a banker lapse. This must go straight to Discord. What? I need this center drive. We'll have to see. Kieran now. For a great qualifying run here. Okay. That is a terrible first sector. 4.5 seconds lost. Did he lock up while I wasn't looking? Rasak up into 8. So, can Water improve before we do the final laps here? David is still in danger. Water moves up to 8. That is not good enough. Currently, Stefan in danger, Tile in danger, Drift, Verstappen, David, and Jimmy Bly in danger with 3 minutes to go of qualifying. And I think Bly there had a little bit of a Spinderella lockup. Lockup from Bly indeed. Needs to get out of that pit lane now to do another lap. And they do come out, just barely. Tidal currently looking to improve. Master also looking to improve. There is no double points for this race. You're correct. Tidal is out by 4 thousandths of a second as it stands right now. Master moves up to 7th. What can Lunar Drift and, of course, I Am Stefan do? Are we going to see any improvements here? Lunar Drift getting a little bit of a tow from the McLaren driver here. Motel, are you going to improve? To get away from the danger zone. Motel does, in fact, improve. 2nd fastest. Stefan, what can you do? 9th. Lunar Drift is out. Water now. Out on track. And is in danger. David is improving. David could take the last race winner's scalp here and knock them out in quali. Are we going to see the Red Bull driver knock the water off the I forgot what I was gonna say. Water is out. David does in fact pull that off. And with that now, we see Verstappen, Drift, Jimmy Bly, Tidal, Rasek, and Water out in Q2. I need someone that scored many points to win. I also need some incidents. Well, Cosby had high hopes that his driver would be the incident maker. Hasn't lived up to the hype, I dare say. Has not lived up to the hype at all.
Angry.
Okay, Master with a time to beat and then immediately improved. David here, purple first sector. Fastest. Singh is improving though. They have identical times at the moment. GG Body could also take it. Both Nieto and Singh go faster than David. David by just 2,000 a second to Singh. What can Body do? Second fastest. The top 4 is separated by a tenth. And those are the banker laps. There will be another run with more confidence. Stefania has had a little bit of an incident. Master is out. Running pretty good here. That is basically close to purple. Are we going to see Master jump up the order? Master goes second fastest. 500s behind Nieto. Who is getting ready to start their flying laps? I believe GG Body might be. No, that is a car in the pit lane. And that car is going to block maybe the Red Bull. No. Red Bull gets clearly by. Sauber up next. What can David do here? Needs a tenth of an improvement. A very good first sector. 21. That is close to purple. 21.4 is what we're looking at in the second sector. That's a terrible first sector for Stefan, unfortunately. 21.5, down by a tenth. But it is improving. Just needs 2,000 here. Singh is not improved in the first sector. Improves to second place here. 400s behind Nieto. Master is still in the pit lane. It's not going to improve. Singh and Christie here. Christie into the pit lane. Singh is not really improving. Does not improve in the final run. What can Mortel do? 21. That's what we like to see in the first sector. What is the second sector going to look like? 21.5. Similar to what David did here. Just needs a banger final sector here. And pole position could be up for grabs for the Sauber driver. A little bit deeper in the corner. And it goes up to 4th place here. Top 5 separated by less than a tenth. And top 6 just barely over a tenth. That is a really, really close fight. And Nieto does come out on top of that one. Flip wins the title after I cause a red flag while he stays out of everyone pits. Well, you can pray. I don't need incidents. You are the incident. Am I still leading the Destructor Championship? Yes, you are. Tomfoolery has pulled off just a single lockup so far this season, Lando. Pulled off just a single lockup this season is what Tomfoolery has pulled off. So, yeah, you are still the Destructive Champion. Okay, this could get very boring, as it turns out. Potentially Inters for the entire race. It's going to be very stable. Incidents are going to be key here for anyone who had a poor qualifying. Let us get going.
Well then, it's not long. The drivers are ready and raring to go. It's the Canadian Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
Can Aston follow up with a good start here, Nieto? David is a little bit of a better starter right there. Goes around. Might be able to take that. Red Bull, David here, takes the lead. Out of the first couple of corners. Motel third. Master fourth. We have Singh in fifth. Body in sixth. Kieran in seventh. Champier in eighth. Water in ninth. And Stefan in 10th at the moment. And with that, we have gotten through the first couple of corners without incident. Incidentally, if everything remains as it is, the Great Fall of Fluke here will lose the championship by 4 points. He needs to outscore Singh, or have Singh score 4 points less, as things currently do stand. David here would move up to 6th, and Mourinho here needs a little bit of a helping hand as it stands to get through potentially. But I believe, didn't Mourinho win last season, or am I misremembering? We'll figure that out. Haas would take the constructors. So right now, Floof needs a little bit of a helping hand as things stand. Nieto is running a completely unique braking build. How legendary when you lost the place. Well, Floof does have a hard job ahead of him. No one is disputing that. The question just here is who is going to be brave enough to pit? Yeah, Mourinho is constructor champion last season, so I'll have to take a look at it again and just figure out who goes through. So you might get lucky, even if you aren't currently in the top 10 or top 9. Probably should have re-rolled Canada, though, as the rainy race now I think about it. But hey, the dice decides. That way it's fair for everyone. Everyone just still holding. Tomfoolery, the only one who's currently losing positions. Or rather, not losing positions, but just falling behind. David and Nieto, we have an overtake out front. It's going to be interesting here with the water, though, because to be Intis, the degradation is actually pretty high. I think we are, at this rate, going to need a pit stop. And that is going to, you know, change the order massively here. Nieto has got the overtake done, is pushing ahead now. Almost 2 seconds down on David. David now down to 3rd. That is not what is needed right now, unfortunately. Motel getting that overtake done, and Master is ready to try and do the same thing. Floof lock in, you can't become AFN 2.0. Well, Floof needs a little bit of a helping hand here, but we've seen crashes change things before this season. There's still 60 laps here of someone potentially making a mistake. Fastest lap currently goes to Mortel. As they're chasing down Nieto. Hell doesn't seem ready to give up just yet, and they are really, really close. Tomfoolery make the most out of the ability. It's only 10 seconds behind the pack. Well, to be fair, for Tomfoolery to do anything with its adaptability, we need either less than 1 millimeter rain on track or more than 4. So right now, adaptability does nothing for anyone. But we did see in a previous season with, unfortunately, AFN as well, that 0 adaptability can translate to 6, 7, 8 seconds around Austria if you have 0 of it. So yeah, the adaptability does play a part, but it does need to be the, you know, the right conditions. As Mortel picks up a mechanical fault. That is our first one this this division. And let's see here. What kind of fault is Mortel suffering from? It's the gearbox. That is not good. Let's just put it like that. That is not good. Mortel did crash in Vegas. That is probably where that damage comes from. Did also, I believe, destroy the rear wing at one point. So yeah, not had a great season, the Sauber driver. Yeah, though, getting a little bit of a helping hand there from Fate itself to slow down the Sauber. Another copycat stealing my name? What do you mean, Mike? I'm not following. Oh, mechanical failure. Yeah, I get it. I get it. My bad. I was thinking too literally there for a second. Booth may need a bit of divine intervention. Yeah, you're not wrong. And the divine intervention is currently chilling 17 seconds off the pack. I don't think any divine intervention will be granted this time around. But a red flag could make it interesting with the weather towards the end. Maybe we'll have a dry shift. But everyone has been extremely well behaved so far, so I think that is going to be a tough ask. Is Singh in danger right now from Kieran? The divine intervention that Floof needs is that Singh needs to drop basically 2 positions. So Kieran here, body, water, all of them are the potential divine intervention that Floof is praying for right now. And we have a yellow flag. The divine intervention has been sent to the Shadow Realm. As we've had crash involving the Ferrari. Water, the divine help has been taken out. Or rather, the divine help has taken out someone else.
The team glued to the monitors and watching their hopes crumble away.
That's a good start. Both of them did, in fact, survive, so we'll be seeing if they can fix that. The rear wing of that Mercedes, though, does look pretty broken. And Water has... Nice, I think it's broken. Just a feeling. I think this actually is a texture issue, however, because I can still see something here. So maybe a texture issue. For Body, however, I think this is a, yeah. Good luck with the rest of the race moment. These two need divine intervention now. It looks intact. Duct tape can fix that. Honestly, Red Bull probably would try duct tape. And funnily enough, Water did pick up a penalty. And even with that, they're almost out ahead of tomfoolery here. Body has definitely some severe damage to chassis, underfloor, rear wing, you name it. Water probably also has some rear wing damage here. We'll have to see if they can do anything with that. Floof moves up to 14th. And with those crashes, we do have title now in the points. We do have some other cars getting involved. But yeah, that was not really the car Floof was rooting for to get taken out. And honestly, it is very unlucky for these two. It is a shame, because I feel both of them have been somewhat unlucky this season. A lot of you guys have been unlucky, but not necessarily in the crashed out way. More like in the we have employed Ferrari strategy way, which is a little bit unfortunate. Cosby, you beating people? I could cause a red flag. Tampere with a lockup.
Now this is where the RB driver's involved. Everything's all right here.
Too far behind really to cause a problem though, I think.
By that point,
Maybe not. That was close to the Williams. 7th place, almost taking out 6th place there. Highest getting a little bit destroyed. Who has the most crashes this season? Good question, honestly. There hasn't been a lot of them. Championship standings update, please. Mortel's mechanical fault has escalated, I do believe.
there. Oh dear, that's not what they need.
What is it that ails you, my son? Mortel. That gearbox is looking more and more explodable by the second. If we take a look at the current standings, Singh is still taking the title. As mentioned, Floof needs to find 4 points somewhere. And Singh needs Singh to not improve. That is how it stands right now. Destructors, Alpine needs to find another 6 points. Maybe more. So yeah, as you can imagine, it's still up for grabs, but Alpine does need a little bit of divine intervention to prevent Singh here from taking it all away. Dropping back, but I can't be involved in a crash. Yeah, Floof has 3.5 seconds now to the pack. Not a great place to be, in all honesty. And the damaged and low confidence cars are catching up to tomfoolery here. That could be the chance here of an incident being created. And David, I think, is lining up the movement right now on the damaged Sauber. And does in fact get by the Sauber right there. David up into second. Mortel drops down to third. And that gearbox damage is definitely causing some problems right now for the Sauber driver. But unfortunate that they had those crashes early in the season, as the car just hasn't been able to survive the 4 races expected of it. I know MIV has 2 crashes so far, so they are close to breaking my record. There's a couple of cars that have 2 crashes this season. Singh almost past Shaolin. Well, Shaolin right now is passing Mortel, and that is going to give Singh a chance to do the same thing. That gearbox damage is rough to deal with. And that is going to make Floof's job even harder here, as Singh is preparing the lineup here to get that move done. Mortel doing some good defending here. Mortel is the new wall. We have a yellow flag, just momentarily, as Water has run wide.
Through turn 4.
Tomfoolery being part of this is interesting to look at. Singh now gets by Mortel, and with that, Floof's championship dreams fall even further away. Tomfoolery now has been overtaken by Water. And yeah, for Mortel, this is pretty unlucky. I am sad to say, as they've now fallen down to 6th behind Kieran Lubb. Champier is the next one up, trying to take piece of the Sauber. Jimmy Bly, next up. I think Singh has won this. Well, anything could still happen. We did have AFN yesterday crash out in the final race, or rather spin out in the final race. So it could still happen again. I need Kieran to do me a favor. Mortel now down into 10th place. Teammate now, next one to deal with. Did have a great start to the race, did have fastest lap, but hasn't been able to capitalize after. And now Luna is also getting into this. The other Haas driver could potentially secure a point here if they keep this up. And with this, everyone has been kind of condensed back into one big unit. Mortel now dropped out of the points, unfortunately, and will start holding up other drivers further down the order. Time lost there, 2 to 3 seconds a lap compared to everyone else. Verstappen now needs to get by. Every lap behind is 2 to 3 seconds lost. And we see corners actually come in here to pit for fresh inters. Are we going to see anyone else take this gamble? Or is corners going to put out an amazing undercut? Because 19 seconds behind when pitting, It is a 22-second pit stop. And, if I'm not mistaken, Corners doesn't need too many points here to get into contention for a win. It's going to have to make an amazing undercut though to get into this, but yeah, we'll have to see how quickly they can go. 22 seconds pit stop. They need to gain 16 seconds. That probably is going to be a little bit too much to ask, but we'll have to see if anyone else decides to take the gamble here on pitting, basically. Mourinho, Mortel, both of them decide to pit too, which means that we could see an influx of pit stops now. Corners is running 122. He's actually running slower than top cars. We have a yellow flag here. I think Mortel has had an incident. Mortel has crashed now.
This was at turn 3. And that's the moment the car plows into the wall. And that's one surefire way to put a dampener on your weekend.
Okay, so you spun and then you crash into the wall. I think our Mortel has given up a little bit, honestly. I'm not gonna lie. That's the feeling that I get looking at that incident. But yeah, are we gonna have any assassination attempts? Maybe. Currently, standings, Singh is winning by 6 points. As is winning by 7. So yeah, Idle here needs to get a move on in order to help Floof get the F2 Constructors title. Kieran could do the worst thing ever and take out Singh. Kieran has had pretty bad luck, been a bit crash prone. Are they going to keep it a clean race around here? Tomfoolery is pitting. Floof being at the back of this DRS train probably should consider pitting. You're not wrong. But as you can see, you don't really go any quicker than the cars ahead, so basically just a safety car precaution. And even then, it might be better to just wait for the safety car itself. Tomfoolery believes they're going to be lapped soon, and that is true. We can see Tomfoolery here in front. And now they are going to have to try and get by the terrorist that has yet to terrorize. Congratulations, Cosby. You've failed doubly. You failed making a driver that would cause incidents. And you failed at being even remotely interesting. Which sounds really, really rude and really, really mean, but unfortunately that is just a reality of things there with Tomfoolery. That is just the reality of the situation. As Master and Singh here. They're just trying to make the best out of it. Singh now, fastest lap. Another point going the way of the Hasses right now. Tomfoolery lining up behind the Singh right now. Are we going to see a fool's errand? Championship leader still just stuck in traffic, down in 14th. Can't really make anything of it, and also corners here. Try to go into a fresher set of inters. It's not really paying off at the moment. But they are starting to come into their own. They are starting to gain 3/10 or so a lap. 28 laps remaining. 3/10, that is 10 seconds. But that is not going to be enough. Going to need a little bit more, I think, here. Singh could pit and lose their position. I think now we're getting into the the realm of cope there, Cosby. With just 27 laps to go, I think we're getting into the the Cope realm. We're almost done with 2/3 of this race. Same timer? Yeah, you're not wrong. Kieran, though, is trying to look for a potential attacker on the Haas driver. Running that close is dangerous. Not ready to give up here, and they are lapping the damaged Mercedes of GG Body. Jimmy Bly is also not happy about their position, wants to improve. If I'm not mistaken, Tile has done 1 overtakes. Gonna need a couple more here to get Alpine what they want. Bing. Please don't mean to sing. You all seem to be cheering for Flu finally getting something here, but unfortunately, sometimes it just doesn't go the way you want. And that is just the reality. Can't get everything the way that you want it, and Kieran is definitely not stopping this push. Kieran is not giving up on this. 22.9, we are seeing more likely half a second gain on some of you guys. Still needs another 12 seconds here to, well, undercut a pit stop. So, yeah, gonna be a little bit difficult, I think. I think we saw an overtake there. Jimmy Bly is moving past the RB. Ferrari finally doing something right and moving up a place. Not had the best of seasons, the Ferraris, nor the RBs for that matter. Singh right now is getting ready to attack for a podium. And fastest lap goes to David right now. David is actually launching an attack on the race leader. Corners is waking up as well. It is drying up a little bit. And then it's going to get wetter again. But yeah, we are going to have a little bit of a dry patch where you can go a lot quicker. Is this going to allow for some incidents to happen? Did Cosby make an overtake? Yes, he made an overtake on a car that doesn't have a rear wing. I don't know if that counts. I don't know if that counts, Edster. Let's be honest. Does that count as overtake? Stefania is looking to overtake Tidal. An overtake is an overtake. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Oh, yellow flag. Doing a drift with a lockup.
Now let's take a look.
One Haas having a problem. Could that be bad news for the second Haas?
And there's the lockup. They were just unable to do much about it.
Lost some time. I don't think they lost position. But Stefan there did overtake the Alpine driver. Alpine trying to get it back. Can't really make that work. And Rasik now is also looking to get involved. Wants to snatch 9th place. Corners has pitted and undercutted. Well, pit stops are 22 seconds here, so Corners needs a little bit more, unfortunately, as it stands. 15 laps to go. I don't see anyone else pitting unless there is an incident, so it's not really an undercut if you can't improve your position. That is currently very, very difficult. Driver of the season for keeping it on the road. To be fair, Tomfoolery has more race finishes than Lando does, so yeah, you're not wrong. Marseille is looking to attack the Red Bull. David currently looking to be in danger. Kieran, ready to attack Singh. 13 laps to go here. David with fastest lap of the race. Catching up to Nieto again. Champier is not ready to end this just yet, and Rasek is the same way. Luna snatches fastest lap before it's snatched by Corners further down the road here. And Corners is quick, but as mentioned, very unlikely that we get a pit stop that they can take advantage of. Needed to push way harder than they have pushed so far. Top 3. All very, very close to each other here. 13 laps to go. Anything can still happen between them. Fastest lap, taken back by David. Rasek now, also very, very close here. To 9th place as it stands. Not giving up on that. Corners is still going quick, 19.3. But again, just not quick enough really to make much of a difference. That is really what it all boils down to here. Gonna stand in the corner, Rasek. There was a consideration. Decided against it. And we go around for another lap here, trying to make that overtake stick. Just isn't happening. Now, Mortelia could explode at any point, bringing out a safety car. But so far, that gearbox has just sabotaged him. Hasn't caused mayhem for the rest of you. I'm not sure what Corners need. Talking about winning, like taking the title away. Corners has 33 points. Needs 12 points. That would be P4. Yeah, it needs to take your position, basically. To make that work. And the others here. Gigi Body and Water crashed. That brought them out of contention. So, yeah. Really. Really, everything came up sing here. In Canada as it stands. And are we finally going to see Rasek pull the move? No. It's been building for a very, very long time, and it just isn't enough. Doesn't get that final little send in there. Is this close enough, however? Maybe. Just not there, unfortunately. Very, very close. Lap after lap. Can't take 9th place as it stands. Champier is also looking to try and get an overtake done. They are basically the only 2 battles in the top 10. But with just 7 laps to go here, it is getting closer and closer till the end. Champier has worse tires than Bly, which is making it a little bit difficult. But they are trying. And they're not willing to give up. Rasek. Close once more. But not close enough. Singh and Kieran here. They're both catching up to Master. We could have a fight for top 3. As it stands. And that could cause a little bit of mayhem here. If I had a penny for every time an Alpine driver finished 2nd in the drivers, I'd have multiple pennies. Damn. No mercy around here, clearly. 5 laps to go. Rasek, have you finally gotten close enough? Not yet. The attempts are being made and they're being warded off time and time again. Just needs a little bit more. 4 laps to go before Singh can take the F2 title here. Corners would potentially undercut you if you pitted, but yeah, it's not happening with 3 laps to go. The question now is, can Corners get any overtakes done with better tires at this stage? They could. They're not going to score enough points there really to change things unless Singh loses 2-3 positions. But Corners, if driven more aggressively, could potentially have made something happen here, yes. Three laps to go. Master is getting ready to launch on David here. We're seeing Luna Drift and Verstappen struggle further down the road. Verstappen now up into 11th. Can Master do anything here against David? Can Champier do anything against Bly? Can Rasek finally get that 9th place that he's been hunting for so very, very long? As Corners is moving upwards slightly. Are you close enough this time, Razek? The answer is no. Not yet. David, Master, are you guys going to be able to hunt down Nieto? Are we going to have a change in the lead here? I kind of doubt it, but we can always hope. Bly is getting caught. Razek is finally getting the move made on Tidal here. The second to last lap, Tidal is not ready to give it up though, and we've seen this a lot where Tidal just gets overtaken and immediately re-overtakes. Gonna be another one of those. Looks like Rasek has just about enough to keep a hold on that place, and with that, Alpine is now down into 10th here. No one is really close enough in the top 10 to get an overtake done, and with that, I think we are gonna give Harman Singh what they deserve, some screen time. Nieto here has run a very, very good race around Canada. Very good qualifying. Takes the win here. Lando could never. David has finally gotten some redemption. It's going to take 2nd place. Master gets 3rd. A little bit of redemption there too. Singh takes 4th. And with that, the Drivers' Championship here. The Constructors' Championship. Kieran, a little bit of redemption there too, honestly. Bly is 6th. Champion 7th. Stefan is 8th. Rasek finishes 9th, and Tidal here is going to take 10th place. Honorable mention to Verstappen, Luna, MRV, Corners, Floof, Mourinho, Water, Martel, who was really unlucky here, was looking to be potentially on for a win before the gearbox gave up. Tomfoolery finally beats someone on track after Baba basically runs the entire, Body runs the entire race here without the rear wing.
Sometimes I think you just have to.
Did Nero just say Lando could never? Yeah, Lando could never start pole and finish 1st. You know that it's a meme at this point. But it's also just a joke, so hopefully you won't be too upset about it. Alpine is Alpine for a reason, Floof. But yeah, with that, Singer takes the Driver Championship in F2. The Great Wall of Fluge comes 2nd. Nieto redeemed himself and gets 3rd. Warners gets 4th. Water gets 5th. Chichibody 6th. Michelle and Master 7th. David 8th. Jimmy Blind 9th. Mourinho is 10th here. So this changes up who goes through. I'm going to have to take a look at it. I'll be making a list with everything in consideration. I do believe the top 9 here are through, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah. As I mentioned, we'll take a look and figure it out. Matheus Mourinho is in because they won last season championship. But I will, as I mentioned, take a look at it and figure it out. Haas here takes the constructor title. Alpine tried, but unfortunately, Floof's celebration in Baku over Tidal here crashing is actually what lost Alpine, the constructor here. Because if Tidal hadn't crashed out and won that race, the Constructors' Championship would have been settled in a different direction. But yeah, that was it for this season. Hope you have enjoyed. And we'll probably be back next weekend. I'm going to sit down. I'm going to sort out the TP applications. I'm going to sort out who went through. And then we'll figure out how we do bidding and everything probably tomorrow. Maybe we'll start next weekend. We'll have to see just how long it takes to get everything set up. But with that in mind, thank you all very much for participating. Thank you all very much for watching, for keeping me company, and hopefully you have enjoyed this as much as I did. Thank you all very much. Please like, subscribe if you haven't already. You know the drill. And I'll see you all next time. Have a good whatever's left of your weekend. Let's see if there's any questions before I run away. Did I win the Destructor Championship? I think you did, Lando, yes. Seems like there was no questions, so let us just get going then. Bye-bye, everyone. See you all next time.